Red stripe, Premier League. I miss one bag of gold medal pan me no. Red stripe alone champion boy go. Banner pour them a singing anthem. Red stripe, watcha. Band shall I be the forward boy. Red stripe Premier League champion boy score. Every goal win a run from boy. Red stripe Premier League champion boy now. Pop down we run the marathon boy. The bush and never made it that the champion boy fan. Now man I done a songsters boy. Red stripe Premier League champion boy. Yeah yo.
Welcome to RSPL, everybody. This is the Red Stripe Premier League here on Sports Max. I'm Danique. Welcome to the show. We have a pretty good lineup today. It is 31 degrees Celsius in Kingston, Jamaica, and we are at the Mona Bowl, home of the UWI Pelicans. And today they take on Portmore United for the second time. Now, today is going to be a determining factor for the final match. Whoever wins today is going to face off with Arnett Gardens for the championship. So I know we're going to have some intense emotions in this match, and everybody is going to play like their life depends on it. So amazing to be back with my guys. Hey Lance, how are you?
I'm great.
Good to see you. Hey G, how are you?
I'm chilling in the sun, if you can believe that.
You know, I do. Always depend on you for the great puns. Now Lance, talk to me a little bit about some news on UWI. What's happening with UWI? What are they bringing to the table today?
Well, they've been on a break for a couple of weeks because Portmore had gone away to Trinidad and Tobago to contest the CFU Caribbean Club Championship Finals. UWI have used the time well. They have used the opportunity to get some of their players into peak fitness. There were some players with some niggles and so on. They come into the match with a 2-1 advantage, so I think they're coming here very, very confident and red hot going in.
Alrighty, sounds good. G, do you think Portmore has what it takes to take this home today?
Yeah, they have more than what it takes. Their backroom team is filled with men who've trod this road already, who've successfully navigated a Premier League season. A couple of the players have also been part of Premier League winning campaigns. And don't forget that Portmore United went to the final last year. They're coming from Trinidad and Tobago in the southern part of the Caribbean, where they were engaged in the CFU Club Championship. So they were fit. While UWI were resting in the break, Portmore was engaged in a tough competition. Yep. So they come with football in their boots. That may be a decisive factor this afternoon, especially if Portmore can get on top early. Then that sharpness could serve them put them in good stead over the course of the 90 minutes.
All right, well, you got to stick around to see what happens, because I know UWI is not going to take this one lying down, especially not on their home ground. Let's take a look at the recap of what happened the first time these two teams met up.
But when they played the first time, Portmore started off on fire. UWI had been coming from a bit of a break and gave up an early goal with Ricardo Morris striking their left-footed, breaching the Portmore defense, and that was after only 5 minutes. UWI taking some time to settle there.
Yeah, they were rig rusty, but they got back in it. The hustle on the right-hand side. Gervon Brown running into the box. 3 Portmore defenders in the box, but none of them close to him, and it was an easy header for the UWI frontman. And then Javon East developing on the right of the Portmore attack, and from point-blank range didn't time his jump properly and put his header over the bar at a crucial time in the game. But slowly but surely, the UWI wrested the advantage from Portmore. Javon East's miss there proving to be costly later on.
Yeah, it was Garrison also missing an opportunity there for UWI as well.
As Ricardo Morris lands, exchanging passes with Malik Foster and falling on his good foot, the left foot, and nobody at Wembley could believe that Ricardo Morris missed from there. A very, very easy chance. And then that's when Patrick Brown struck Lance, driving into the box very soon after coming off the bench. His first few touches, decisive touches, because he scored after coming off the bench, made the coach look like a genius, Lance, and of course made himself look like a superstar.
Yeah, Portmore in trouble there after starting off well, and great for UWI. They have so much strength in goal scoring coming off the bench, as is the case today, and they were able to use it effectively in the opening leg.
Alrighty, well, it's the first time that we are here at the Mona Bowl, so we're going to talk to George, on the other hand, who tells us a little bit about the pitch and what's happening.
All right, contrast with this field. The northern side of the field, which is this side, very, very tough. That side, the southern side, very, very soft. Don't know the reason for that. But beyond that, though, the big thing for the players this afternoon will be these tufts of grass, the root of the grass. When the ball bounces on the grass, you don't know how high it will bounce, if it will just drop and roll dead. You don't know that. That's going to be very difficult for control and for anticipation. If you pass the ball firmly on the surface, like that, the ball will run well. But if you play the gentler passes, because of the tufts of grass, you're not quite sure if the ball will get to its intended target and at what pace. That's going to make anticipation very difficult. If you're watching at home, players miscontrol the ball, the bounce beats them, don't be too upset. It's not really their fault. It's not a determination of their level of skill. It's just that it's a difficult surface to play on. Ball control, going to be very difficult this afternoon.
Alrighty, guys. So, other than football, we don't just have football here on Sportsmax. We also have cricket, and the South Africa tour of Europe is definitely going to be on Sportsmax. So it's going to be England versus South Africa, and that's going to be live Monday at 5 a.m., 6 Eastern Caribbean time. So definitely stick around for that. So, listen, guys, quickly, Lance, what's going to happen? Who's going to win today?
Well, it's pretty tough between these two teams. They have met 4 times already this season, 2 wins each for both teams, so there's not much to choose. Because UWI are in front by 2-1, I would give the edge to UWI celebrating at the end of this evening's fixture.
Alrighty, G.
Had some insight into the UWI camp, Danique, and the report is that the UWI outfield players have been running like Mustangs. They've been running hard in training because they recognized that the slow start hurt them against Portmore, even though they came back to win the first leg. I'll take it UWI.
Alrighty, I'm gonna be forced to agree with my guys here because UWI definitely has the edge, and I really don't think they're gonna be happy with leaving their home ground with a loss. So I give it to UWI, give the edge to UWI, and hopefully we see what turns out later on. We have so much more in store for you guys. It's really this much closer to the finals, and Red Stripe has a lot in store as well. Stick with us. Coaches' interviews are up next. We'll be right back. Welcome back, everybody. We are at the Mona Bowl, home of the UWI Pelicans, where today they face off in the second leg of the semifinals with Portmore United. So whoever wins today will face off with the finalist in the final matchup. Now, I have a UWI fan with me, which makes sense because we're on their home ground. Jamar, what do you think is going to happen today?
Well, we led from the first leg 2-1, so I expect us to at least draw, or if not 2-1 win to us.
Alrighty, sounds good. Who should we look out for on the field?
Well, the keeper, Amal, and Dada Daly.
All right, sounds good. Thank you so much, Jamar. That was Jamar, big fan of the UWI Pelicans. Let us now go over to Lance, who is with the assistant coach of the UWI, Andrew Peart.
Thanks, Danique. Andrew Peart, assistant coach of the UWI team. You go into a second leg semi-final with an advantage by 2-1. What do you tell your team?
Well, we have to play like it's a 90-minute game. Sorry, good afternoon to you and your viewers. But it's no great advantage because there's no away goal rule, so you have to play to the finish. You can't look and say you have a 1-goal lead, because at any moment in the game you can concede a goal and then the whole complexity of the game changes. So the most important thing is to be focused, to approach the game with the right mentality and the correct intensity.
Yeah, you've been off for a couple of weeks. I heard your coach saying in the media this past week that he pretty much appreciated the break because there were some players with niggles and so on, and it gave you more time to get ready. Is that exactly how UWI is looking ahead to this match?
Yes, and even going into the first leg, we were 3 weeks without competitive games. We look at it as pretty much like the 3 weeks leading towards the end of the preseason. So you don't play any competitive games, but you have to make sure that the first game of the season are ready. This first game of the season for us is very important, both in terms of the historical context and the ambition of the team.
Final question. You've already outperformed your previous season's performance. 10 points better this year than you were last year into the semis. You weren't in the semis last year. Are you satisfied, or do you want to go all the way?
Well, satisfaction is pretty relative and a thin parameter, but we are here in the semifinals. We want to do more because it is possible that we can do more. We have seen that throughout the season and even throughout last year, so we're just trying to do as best as possible.
Thank you very much, Andrew. Best of luck.
Thank you, Sir Lance.
That was Lance, who was with the assistant coach of UWI. Now we're going to talk to an avid fan of Portmore United. Now this is not new to Portmore United. You guys have been here before in the semifinals. How confident are you that you're going to take home the championship this year?
I'm 100% confident. Yeah, because we did it last year. We came 2-1 down from Umberland, 1-3-1. So I'm sure that we can do it today again.
Give me a scoreline.
3-1.
3-1. That's nice that you're giving you a 1.
All right.
All right, that was Sean D, avid fan of Portmore United, which now makes sense for us to go over to George, who is with the head coach of Portmore United, Linval Dixon.
Here with Linval Dixon, the coach of Portmore United, 2-1 down coming into this game. I'm sure you would have purged your system of the disappointing performance in the first leg. What are your boys coming here to do today?
Well, they're definitely coming here to give a good game, you know, a game that we have to win. We know that, you know, we are 1 goal behind, but, you know, again, we don't have anything to lose. We have to come on and attack until, you know, we score.
The thing is this, the 3 weeks between the 2 semi-final games, Portmore was in big competition in Trinidad and Tobago. Of course, UWI was idle. Do you think your team has the edge in sharpness coming into this game, or will the Trinidad trip have zapped you of energy?
Well, you know, anything possible when you look at it, because, you know, it can be, 1, we have the energy, 2, we can be tired, you know, because it's a long competition in Trinidad, you know. But again, you know, there's no excuse, you know, a semi-final game where we have to come out here and try win the game, and I will definitely do that today.
Final question, your team, the backroom staff, filled with men who've won the Premier League already. Your club has a history of winning the Premier League. The UWI are in uncharted territory. Will that count for anything in this game?
Well, definitely so. It will count, you know, because when you have experience, you know, nothing beat experience. When you have players, you know, who play Premier League, won Premier League, you know, and of course in the coaching ranks, will always help us, you know. So, you know, we're looking for every experience from our backroom staff, you know, to get the job done today.
Linval, thank you. All the best.
Thank you very much.
Stay with us, guys. We have so much more in store for you. Starting 11 is coming up soon, so you don't want to miss that. This is UWI Pelicans versus Portmore United here at the Mona Bowl. We'll be right back.
The Mona Bowl is the venue here for the second leg semi-final of UWI against Portmore United. Portmore 5-time champions of the Premier League in Jamaica. UWI only their 2nd season, but what a fabulous 2 seasons this UWI team has had. They were almost regular season champions, only losing out on the final day of the regular season, and their fans have turned out this afternoon to see them protect this 2-1 advantage and go through to the final against Arnett Gardens.
Yeah, it's going to be a big ask for Portmore United to get back against this UWI team. But that man, Amal Knight, is going to be crucial to the UWI's chances this afternoon, repelling what Portmore will no doubt throw at him from minute 1.
UWI very strong at home. They have won 9 of their 16 home matches and one of the strongest home team performers for the season, UWI. Portmore will have a lot on their hands this afternoon. The UWI starting lineup exactly the same as it was in the first leg, with Amal Knight in goal, their captain Roshane Smith leading things from in midfield, Mackenzie Reid, Schaap, Garrison, Henry Gervin Brown, Kimar Daly, the man of the match for that first leg, Jamie Robinson and Orlando Brown.
Some argument that the left back, Jamie Robinson, has a niggle coming into this game. Will have to be at his best to stave off the attacks of Ricardo Morris. But, you know, the UWI team very fit, and we understand that the training has been going fantastically well. That man with number 45 in his back, Kimar Daly, is going to be their key player. He's creator-in-chief. If he plays well, the UWI will win.
A 3-5-2 formation here being employed by the UWI, and they're packed their midfield here to ensure that they stifle those creative midfield plays coming out of Portmore, and to ensure that they don't suffer a defeat here. As long as they don't lose today, UWI, they're into the final.
Yeah, this young man, Amal Knight, 16 clean sheets this season, only 22 years old. He has the world ahead of him. Outfield players at this age, Lance, usually get looked over because the scouts and the clubs in Europe are fascinated by younger players. But at his age, 22, and his experience and his quality, he could go on to greater things. He's been, in my books, the best goalkeeper in the Premier League this season.
Yeah, a former Wolmer's goalkeeper. In fact, the only goalkeeper in the history of the Manning Cup that has been an MVP winner for the season. So outstanding there for Amal Knight.
Then this man, Gervin Brown, big, he's strong, he kicks well with both feet, he is a threat in the air, and is an intelligent mover, Lance. Doesn't waste energy, Gervin Brown. Deadly as they come, as deadly as they come. He's gonna have his shooting boots strapped on tight if UWI is to progress.
Yeah, Gervin Brown, scorer of the equalizer in the first leg. and there'll be a lot on his shoulders to ensure that UWI get the result that they want this afternoon.
And then this man, you can't create anything if you're the UWI team without him. Those times this season when they played without Kemar Daly, they've not looked at themselves. They've looked a lesser team. With him in their ranks, Lance, they look like a big team, and he was outstanding after the first 20 minutes in that first leg semi-final. He's going to have to come up big this afternoon for them to get through.
Yeah, what a lot of coaches will demand from their top players, George, is for them to perform on the big days, and that's exactly what Kemar Daly did in the first leg. When they needed him to perform, he delivered one of his best performances for the season so far. Portmore United, as we said, they've been champions 5 times. Only Santos and Tivoli have won as many Premier League titles as they have. They're a fit team, ready. They are a pedigree team, the Portmore United team, and they will feel that they have that advantage over UWI. The effect of being there and knowing what it feels like. They have a solid coaching staff behind them and a fit, strong and determined team just fresh from the 3rd place finish in the Caribbean Football Union Club Championship.
Crucially for Portmore United, they won't panic being 2-1 down and coming to UWI's home for the second leg, because they have pedigree and experience, as you've noted. So for them, it's all about winning this game and doing so by a margin sufficient to erase that 2-1 loss in the first leg. They will be fully confident, Lance, that they can get the job done.
That's for sure. Very, very windy conditions here this afternoon for the second leg, and the pressure on UWI to perform here. Shevin Sean Paul, Damana Solomon, Andre Dice, Kareem Manning returns to the starting roster. Malik Foster is in the starting roster. He has not had the opportunity to be in a starting lineup many times this season. Ewan Grandison, their leading goal scorer and captain, Ricardo Morris, Michael Binns, Roberto Johnson, Enrico Ricketts, and Javon East, who was their leading scorer last year.
Yeah, but the addition of Malik Foster is the eye-catching one, Lance, because what this suggests is that the Portmore United team, as you look at their 4-1-4-1 formation, they want more spark in attack. They want someone making those darting runs for Grandison and Binns to be spraying those balls too from the central part of the field to the flanks. They didn't have that in the first leg. Foster is here to spark the attack into life. They felt it was flat in that first leg in Clarendon.
Yeah, great to see Ewan Grandison coming up with so many goals this season, George. He has been a solid midfield performer for them so far, but this year he has scored 9 goals for them, and he is their leading goal scorer at the moment, coming from the central midfield.
Yes, indeed. Grandison, a big-time player, has matured very well this season. What looked a good player last season, and I'm suggesting that he's had an even better campaign this year.
Ricardo Morris, a prolific goal scorer for Portmore United, scored the goal in the 2-1 loss last time out, and has been one of the players that will always cause problems for the opposition because of his skill and his dribbling ability.
One of the things I can criticize him for, not much I can criticize, but one of the things I criticize him for, Lance, he doesn't demand the ball enough. There are periods of the play where Morris is quiet, not because he's being shackled by the defenders, because that's difficult to do, but he needs to tell the midfielders, give me the ball, let me attack. He needs to do that more often.
Ewan Grandison is the captain of the Portmore United team. He's a former Lennon standout, 25 years old now, and he has led this team with a lot of quality, and as I said, 9 goals so far. He resides in Clarendon, as we said, and a standout with Lennon in the past as well, but he's been a standout player for Portmore so far this season and continues to be here in the semis.
Blessed with vision, blessed with a big shot, and can pick a 30-40 yard pass. Ewan Grandison as well can play the archetypal midfield role where he holds and protects his back four. But this man is the creative center, the nerves trust, the brains trust rather, of this Portmore United team, Michael Binns. Deadly from the free kick situation. A very good passer of the ball, can beat a man if he has to, and critically can dictate the tempo at which the game is played. Only the special players can do that. Michael Binns has that ability to determine and dictate how fast or how slow the football game is played.
Easily one of the best passers of the football in the domestic game in Jamaica at the moment, the 25-year-old. Former Glenmuir standout as well, and a Portmore. Well, they know what they have to do this afternoon, George, because they have to come into this fixture looking for goals and looking for goals early.
Yes, indeed, and as I note, we speak a lot about the experience of the Portmore United team, but it is valuable in a situation like this where you're 2-1 down, playing at the home of your rival. There is no need to panic because Portmore know that they've trod this route before. They know what it takes to get through. They won't be perturbed in the least.
So the fans getting ready for the kickoff here this afternoon. It's a very, very hot afternoon. Very windy as well. Portmore United trailing by 2-1 against UWI here and needing a result. So the fans here patiently waiting for the start of this fixture. So we're moments away from kickoff here. Portmore United in white against the red-clad UWI. Fifth clash this season for these two teams. They have shared 2 victories each and looking for a result here. UWI, that would, for them, be a magnificent performance if they can get through to the final in their second season of the Red Stripe Premier League.
Never has a team in its second season trod the path that UWI have done so far. Never has a team in only second season made a final. UWI looking to create a lot of history, lads.
Okay, so we're not far away from the kickoff now. We'll be back in a moment with UWI against Portmore in the second leg of their semi-final in the Red Stripe Premier League football.
One bag of gold medal pan me now. Red Stripe alone champion boy go. Pan up pour them a singing and tempo. Red Stripe, watch out. Man shall I make forward boy. Red Stripe Premier League champion boy score. Every goal winner run from boy. Red Stripe Premier League champion boy now.
The Red Stripe Premier League for champions only.
Back at the Uwimuna Bowl here for UWI, 2-1 leaders of this Red Stripe Premier League semi-final tie. They won in the opening leg in Jamaica 3 weeks ago, and the fans from both teams have turned out here to watch this fixture. Also, many fans, George, from Arnett Gardens who are awaiting the winner of this match to know who they will meet in the final. So the avid Arnett Gardens fans having a look at their potential rivals in the final.
Yeah, call it an unpaid spying mission, Lance. They've come to look at the Junglists' rivals in the final not too long from now. This will be a good game, though. 2 ball-playing teams, the midfield battle, as it is in most football matches, Lance, but especially this with 2 young, well, Kimara Daly not classically young, but still young enough, but 2 men short in stature but big on footballing ability, trying to fight for the right to impose their team's style on the game. Michael Binns of Portmore United, Kimara Daly for Tivoli, for UWI rather. That's going to be a fascinating side contest in itself.
So the pre-match formalities about to go off here. UWI in red at home. They have won 9 of their 16 home matches, UWI, and they're not about to lose this one this afternoon. They only need a draw, UWI, to keep Portmore out. Portmore needing goals, and plenty of them. Got several goals, Portmore, in the Caribbean Football Union Club Championship finals. Ended 2-2 in the third place playoff with Central FC. Also 2-2 with San Juan Jablote as well.
The team has been fresh and nicely, Lance, with the addition of Malik Foster, and don't forget Kareem Manning was missing from that first leg semi-final at Wembley, and he returns to give them energy and legs down his flank, down the right side.
Rashima Kelly, assistant brand manager of Red Stripe, being introduced. Raymond Anderson of the Jamaica Football Federation as well, being introduced to the Portmore team by their 25-year-old captain, Ewan Grandison. And also meeting the match officials who have the assignment this afternoon, and Roshane Smith, captain and also leading goal scorer for his team. Both captains are currently their leading scorers for each team. Grandison for Portmore and Smith here for UWI. Taking Rashima Kelly and Raymond Anderson through the introductions as we get ready for the national anthem and preparation for the kickoff of the second leg semi-final between Portmore and UWI. Portmore away from home here. Here's the national anthem. UWI ended the regular season 2 points off the title with 59 points. Humberland regular season champions with 61. Portmore back in fourth on 55 points, but that will go down in history as mere statistics because the championship is decided in the playoffs, and these are the semis to decide who gets into the final.
What you can take from the regular season, though, Lance, is that these were the two most consistent teams in the country over the course of the 33-game preliminary round. And so it's a contest of, statistically and on paper, the two best teams from the regular season. Let's see if they can fit that billing in this second leg semi-final. Of course, only one will progress from this fixture.
Kevin Morrison has the whistle this afternoon. He stood in the final between Portmore and Montego Bay United last year. And he has Jacid Carr and O'Shea Duane as his assistants. O'Shea Nation is the fourth official. The two captains meeting in the middle, and no love lost here between these two teams. As we said, they have battled intensely over the season. 4 matches so far between them, 2 victories each. There were 3 matches between them as well last year in UWI's first season. 1 win each and 1 draw. So at the moment, from 7 matches, 3 wins each and 1 draw between these two teams. The US starting lineup night: Smith, their leading goal scorer, Mackenzie, Reed, Schaff, Garrison, Henry, Brown, Daly, Robinson and Brown. For coach Marcel Gale, the exact same starting lineup they had last in the first leg of the semis.
2 very, very tough central defenders. They're going to play in a back 3, as you noted, Lance. The youngster Alanda Brown is an outstanding prospect for Jamaican football. He is very, very strong in the tackle, quick, reads the game well, and also he complements the players that play in the defensive unit with him. It'll be interesting to see how he is deployed this afternoon, if he sits or if he raises to join the attack.
Where's the number 32?
Portmore's starting lineup has Shavin Sean Paul in goal as usual. Damana Solomon, their big strong central defender. Dice Manning. Manning returns at the left fullback position. Malik Foster, the speedy attacking player. Grandison, their captain and leading scorer with 9 goals. Ricardo Morris. Mikey Binns, their excellent passer of the ball in midfield. Roberta Johnson, Enrico Ricketts and Jovan East, who was their leading scorer last year. Linval Dixon in charge.
Yeah, there are about 3 or 4 Portmore United players who aren't going to do much defending, Lance, showing you that Portmore aren't going to win this game defending. They're going to win this game on the front with attacking. Malik Foster, Ricardo Morris, Javon East, to a lesser extent Enrico Ricketts will not be doing a lot of defending. Their primary role is attack, so don't expect those players to be tracking back too often, because they're going to, the formation is set out so that Portmore takes charge of this game early, presses on the front foot and stays there until victory is achieved.
And almost like clockwork, George, just ahead of the kickoff, we have the sun going away and slightly cloudy conditions now, but I think that the players will appreciate the fact that the sun has gone behind some clouds here and making things a little bit cooler for them, because it's been blazing hot this afternoon, over 31 degrees Celsius. And there's Malik Foster, only 20 years old, a former Jamaica College standout player, and he's been doing well for Portmore since his elevation to the top flight.
Can't recall the last time I saw him start a football game, Lance, but the need is urgent for Portmore to get a foothold in this game early. They're 2-1 down.
Kimar Dada Daly, the 29-year-old, had a couple of international outings for Jamaica as well, was a key player for them in the first leg of the semi-final when they won 2-1. Linval Dixon, a former standout for Clarendon College in schoolboy football, and also played for the Reggae Boys at the international level. Marcel Gale has been in charge of the UWI program now for several years, and what a job he and his assistant Andrew Peart there in the background have been able to do. We're less than a minute away from kickoff, and the players are limbering up, getting ready for this one. There's Roshane Smith, captain of the UWI team, and their star player Kamar Dada Daly had a stint in England with Preston North End, the 29-year-old. Didn't flourish in that league though, and is back home. A former Tivoli player as well, played successfully and with a championship winning Tivoli team as well. Amal Knight, the only goalkeeper in the history of Manning Cup football to win the MVP award, and has been a standout for UWI since playing in the Red Stripe Premier League. So slightly cloudy conditions at the moment. A cool breeze across the UWI Bowl, and here's the kickoff with Portmore in control, and Binns with a forceful pass upfield. Oh, pretty much unlike him, giving the ball away unchallenged. Foster, with his speed, would want to go down the right side now. A bit of a tumble there from Roberta Johnson on the byline. Johnson, 21-year-old right back for Portmore. Tonight will kick off comfortable here at the UWI Mona Bowl. This is where they train. This is where they're based. No praise can be too high for how well UWI has equipped itself and measured up quite significantly in the top flight as an inexperienced team. Jovan East trying to get through there. His first touch not as good as it needed to be. That was an inadvertent clearance there. Andre Dice committing a foul as well.
Aggressive on Gervon Brown.
Daly may want to strike this one from here. There's Tennille McKenzie showing some interest. Shabin Sean Paul trying to make sure that his defenders are properly placed to block this one. McKenzie looks as if he's going for goal from distance.
We saw him do that twice or 3 times in the first leg semi-final to no good effect. Must be banging them in training, Lance, for him to be given that distinction by by Daly.
Very, very interesting to see how UWI will approach the first couple of minutes here in this game, because they are leading in the tie. A draw would be good enough to suit them, but they don't want to relax too much. They don't want to give Portmore a stiff or any kind of momentum.
Yeah, but from what I hear, Lance, about their training in the past week, they're coming to outrun this Portmore team. So they're going to be very, very aggressive from the start.
Started off badly in the first leg semi-final, gave up a goal through Ricardo Morris. After only 5 minutes, there's Foster's pace.
Already you're noticing a tactical change by Portmore, whereas in the first leg, Ricardo Morris was almost the right winger. It's Foster with Morris playing almost behind him, tucked inside into midfield. So a major tactical tweak by Linval Dixon and the team. Morris no longer the right winger, looking to cut in on his left foot and shoot. Foster is the one raiding down the right. Morris tucked in to his left.
Binns gives the ball away for the second time in the match.
The hardness of the surface is evident, Lance. The ball bouncing around almost like a balloon at times.
Smith just getting the ball back there to McKenzie, who's long ball downfield. Has Manning getting there first. Manning, a former St. George's College defender. Morris's first touch here, not the best, being harassed from behind by McKenzie. Very robust defender, McKenzie, for UWI.
Very good one too.
Yeah. Both teams have exhibited reasonably solid defensive work so far this season. UWI have given up just 7 goals in their last 10 matches, including 5 clean sheets. So the coaching staff would be satisfied that their defensive line is doing its job.
Jerron De Henry took a knock to the face, Lance, and the referee paused the game to ask for medical attention. But what about the job this man has done in concert with the man sitting behind him, Andrew Peart, Marcel Gale? Outstanding over the course of the campaign. And there have been so many good things about the Premier League this season, Lance. The quality of the coaching of the UWI team, Portmore United managing 2 competitions, traveling away twice during a Premier League campaign, and of course Humble Lion under Donovan Lucky, and Jerome Wade reviving Arnett Gardens at the critical time. So many good stories from a coaching perspective.
Yeah, really, really outstanding there. And you know, there's a view as you talk about some of those teams having other assignments. Certainly Kimar Daly, in a television interview this week, spoke about teams playing in more than one competition tend to struggle when they have to spread their roster. And he was suggesting that Portmore may have trouble here because they have had this interruption, you might say, in contesting the Caribbean Football Union Championship, and he referred to some of the teams in England and so on who have had to straddle more than one tournament and how it affects them negatively in their own domestic league. He thinks that from a UWIFC standpoint, having been able to focus on this league alone gives them an advantage over Portmore.
Yeah. So again, another point on Ricardo Morris' stance. I thought he was being asked to play close to Malik Foster, who's raiding down the right wing. But in effect, Ricardo Morris is being given a free role by Portmore to go where he thinks the action is. And with that free role, he doesn't have much defensive responsibility to the team.
There's Grandison. 9 goals already this season for the blue and white clad Portmore United. Shaman Sean Paul with the ball. Now this is Johnson. Challenged very strongly for the ball.
Lance, if you look at the ball in slow motion, the ball refuses to settle on this surface. This surface is as hard as concrete, I'm going to venture. It's very difficult. In fact, it would be easier if the ball was underinflated. But if the ball is inflated to regulation levels, then you're going to see the results that you're seeing now.
Morris showing great skill there, but good recovery there from UWI in defense. Solomon puts the challenge on and takes Gervin Brown down. UWI leading this fixture by 2-1 here, and this is a play to the finish fixture. The aggregate scoreline is what decides the outcome. There's no away goal rule.
Man down out of your shot, Lance. Looks like Davian Garrison.
Yes, it is Garrison.
Holding the collarbone. And the UWI players angry. They think that something happened off the ball that the referee should have seen. Gervin Brown especially, and the captain Rasheen Smith, very angry, Lance.
Yes, they are. So Garrison, given the start here, in trouble. There's a lot of scoring strength from UWI. They actually have 21 goals on the bench as we speak, including Anthony Greenland and Patrick Brown, who have scored 6 goals each. DeWine Smith with 3 as well.
The word from inside the UWI camp, Lance, is that Patrick Brown is arguably their most dangerous attacker. But because he's a young player and, you know, the distractions and everything that young people fall prey to, they believe he's not as focused on his game as he should be. But persons within the team believe, and they say that Patrick Brown on talent is a little bit ahead of everybody else.
Scored a wonderful winner, Patrick Brown, just a couple of minutes after coming on in the first leg of this tie, which was their go-ahead goal and eventual winner.
Let's see what happened here off screen. That's Garrison, center of your picture. Oh yeah, and he was tripped. That should have been a booking. A sly foul off the ball. But it looks to be Dice who got away with one. And I told you before in the build-up, Lance, that I didn't want, if I were playing here, I wouldn't want to fall on this surface because it is as hard as concrete.
Yeah, very, very hard surface here and very dry. Very, very dry. So falling on this surface is like a huge collision, isn't it?
Yep. Looks to be all right.
It looks as if he'll be okay, but does look a little unsteady as he comes off and a little angry too. So the fans, after 9.5 minutes of football, not yet given anything to shout about. The Portmore United fans would want to see their team get back into the game as quickly as possible. The longer this game stays at 0-0, the better it is for UWI.
All kinds of fans coming out. Just caught a shot of a senior member of the Jamaica Constabulary Force, the police force, formerly in charge of the Constabulary Communication Unit, Steve Brown, a Portmore United supporter. He's wearing his colors. So the long arm of the Lowlands is partisan this afternoon.
Club that actually straddles two parishes really, because the original Portmore was Hazard from Clarendon. Then there was a change in administration and geographical status of the team, and they moved to Portmore in St. Catherine. So as 5-time champions, in fact 2 of the titles they won, they actually won it as Hazard.
They're registered in the St. Catherine FA, play their home games in Clarendon, another youth team playing in the Casafa competitions land. So you're right, they've been all over the place.
UWI in control with the ball deep inside their own half. Daly, pass cut off by Manning. Manning steady at left full back for Portmore, didn't feature in the first leg. There he is, a young man with a lot of ability. Curry Manning.
Good engine on him, Lance. He'll run all day.
Yeah.
Protects the right side of the left side, well, the left side of his defense very well.
Yeah, only 23 years old, but plays with a lot of maturity.
Yeah, had a good campaign last year as Portmore went to the final.
Gervin Brown there trying to send Garrison on, but Garrison looked as if he was held back, and the referee Morrison awarding a free kick to UWI. So Portmore's defender is being forced early into some errors here.
Dice again using the body to execute an illegal block on Garrison, preventing him from running on to the 1-2.
Garrison looks pretty upset at this point, and at the moment appears to be getting some counseling from Ramon Reed to keep his temper down, because he looks ready to explode.
Oh yes.
Free kick to UWI, and Kemar Daly is preparing to strike it. Some of the fans. Ball driven from distance. That's a pretty firm strike there on goal. That went wide of the target from Orlando Brown. Had a lot of pace on that right footer.
I tell you what, this didn't miss by, well, it missed by much. It looked misleading from our angle, but he got good power, as you noted, Lance, not good direction.
Former Jamaica College Manning Cup captain.
I'd suggest that the teams want to play, Lance, but the surface is giving them a lot of trouble, and we haven't seen, has Binns touched the ball just yet? I haven't seen him when, well, he gave away the first possession that Portmore had in the first 30 seconds. Kemar Daly has been fleeting for the UWI, but neither of the midfield maestros able to stamp their quality on the game just yet.
Yeah. Morris. Pretty easily knocked off the ball by Dino Schaff, but the danger here still for UWI. Eventually they're getting the ball away.
Dino Schaff very lucky, offside from Gervin Brown, but the referee says play on. Dino Schaff muscled out by Javon East, a man who is significantly shorter than him, significantly smaller, but East packing a punch, deceptive, strong.
Portmore patient at the moment. They have, well, they went into the game knowing that they have all of 90 minutes to wipe off the deficit of 2-1. Grandison. Oh, bad touch there by Grandison. Gervin Brown gets away. Brown wide with the effort. Grandison, I thought, undone by the pitch conditions there. He got a bad bubble and lost the ball. Brown snatched it, but wasn't able to put it away.
All right, so we spoke about this in the pitch report. The bad surface caused that Ewan Grandison to make that mistake, and then the bad surface caused Gervin Brown to not get a good shot. Look at this. The ball bubbles on, runs off the boot of Grandison, and it just wouldn't sit. I'm telling you, it just wouldn't sit for Gervin Brown as he drew back the leg to strike that. You would think, though, that he had to get it on target at the very least. Very difficult right here.
Yeah, I think his first touch, though, or even his second touch that didn't take him closer to where the goal was, would have been an error on his part. He needed to cut closer inside to give himself a better chance at goal, but his touches on the ball didn't get him close enough to goal, and that contributed to him missing.
Combination of factors there. I still blame the pitch, Lance.
Johnson inside. Oh, East with a chested pass. Binns. Shoved up the ball by Daly.
Well, if that chance was to fall to any of the UWI men on the pitch, you would have picked Gervon Brown, as we see the two midfield generals clashing there. And the Portmore general being decked by the man in red, Kemar Daly.
Yeah, two very strongly built players. Grandison. Spins, that's going to strike it though. Goes for Foster. Grandison under pressure. Manning, left side. Grandison has an opportunity to strike here. Great comeback there from Gervon Brown, who puts the pressure on and spoils the Portmore attack.
But Grandison's error will tell every defender on this pitch that they have to be careful. It's better to hammer the ball away first time rather than to do the kind of, execute the kind of control that Grandison tried.
Curious season here for Portmore. They have played at numerous grounds as their home ground, and they've been pretty much nomads, Portmore, so traveling away hasn't been that much of a setback for them all season. Portmore United having more of the ball so far, 55%, so UWI giving up possession, but Portmore haven't really looked all that threatening, so the superior ball possession Portmore enjoying, I don't think would be overly worrying at the moment for UWI.
Not at all, because the UWI had the best chance. Should have been 1-0 up.
Winner of this match goes through to the final against Arnett Garns on the 5th of June. Some of the Arnett Garns players here at the UWI Bowl taking in the action. Vishanal Harris, Marvin Morgan among those in the stands here looking at this fixture and just having a look at their potential rivals when the championship game comes up on the 5th of June.
Yes, indeed.
Garrison does well here. Can he get the cross inside? Shivan Sean Paul on the near post, right there in goal.
Good look by Garrison, just didn't have enough room to swivel and get that one across goal and away from Shavin Sean Paul, who cut his angles well just the same. Good ball swept on. Look how simple it is. Falls over the man of Solomon's head and running out of ground. Garrison did the best he could.
Yeah, very wary player Garrison, but with a lot of pace. He's already had 5 goals so far this season for UWI.
One of the most underrated players in the league, Lance, I believe. People who don't watch the UWI week in, week out will not know the quality that Garrison adds to the team.
Foster's first touch puts himself in problems as he's under pressure here to trying to fend off Robinson. Robinson shadows very, very well here. Now Binns. Big long ball by Binns, changing the dimension of attack here for Portmore. Manning does well to keep the ball in. Ricketts for Portmore, trying to go away down the left side and wins a corner for Portmore.
Yeah, good tackling by Geronde Henry to stay with the runner, not allowing him to get the cross in. That's the first duty of a fullback.
5 white shirts for Portmore in the box, waiting for a scoring opportunity here. As Ewan Grandison, their captain, prepares to hit the corner kick. 5 Portmore players in the 6-yard box, in fact. Wow. Malik Foster almost hitting the post there with a headed effort.
But I tell you what, it was a defensive header gone wrong. So the cross comes in, the corner comes in.
Yeah, that's what I saw. Mike Foster almost headed the post instead of the ball. He would have been in some pain.
Oh, yes.
If you think the field is hard, George, falling on the field, how about heading onto the post?
Oh, dear me.
UWI on the attack there with that Garrison effort a couple of minutes ago. Shavin Sean Paul on the near post, protecting it well. Brown putting the chase on, but Dice uses a lot of pace to ensure that the ball is safely behind. Well, it's actually a corner. He was trying to get to the ball to prevent the corner.
Which is why he was running so hard.
Yeah.
Which is why Gervin Brown gave up the chase, realizing that the ball would come to his team. So we're over 20 minutes in. It's not been a scrappy affair by virtue of what the teams have done, but it has been made somewhat scrappy by the quality of the surface, directly affecting the standard of the football that we've been served up so far.
Corner for UWI, hit way over to the far post, beyond the far post. Solomon for Portmore. Oh, his clearance isn't a very good one. He's ended up giving a throwaway to UWI pretty deep inside his own half.
Not making excuses for them, as we see O'Neal Bigger Thompson in the black shirt for the Arnett Gardens team, and of course Raniki Anderson. Thompson will be missing from the final due to card accumulation.
A situation we understand Arnett Gardens are about to appeal. Morris. Tennille Ricketts stands up very, very well there for UWI and prevents the Portmore advance. And there goes Robinson now down the left side under some pressure from Johnson. Binns does good defensive work.
I tell you what, Lance, something happened off the ball just now on that Portmore attack where Malik Foster was brought down off the ball. It's a second off the ball incident that the referee has missed, and his assistants have to help him. He can't see everything. That's why he has two pairs of eyes on either flank.
Yeah. And I think Foster just directed his anger just now at the assistant referee because he thought that he should have been able to see it. Oh, the ball inside. Almost a header on goal there, just sliding off the head
of Garrison.
Garrison was on the near post.
Yeah, he took a deflection as well because I think he got something on it.
Yeah, I think there was a slight touch there from Garrison as he tried to head on the near post. Here it is. Daly just setting the ball back here. His cross just slid across the goal, and Garrison's effort just sliding, and then a deflection and another corner. This corner taken differently. Henry. Oh, a good cross to the far post! Just missing everyone. Arriving a trifle late there was Dino Schaff, but that looked very threatening on the Portmore goal.
Has scored a few goals from headers this season, Dino Schaff, and perhaps it wasn't coming high enough where he could have gone with the head. Was just dropping, and he went at it like a central defender approaches plays like those with not much confidence.
Yeah, may have worried a little about the collision too with the onrushing goalkeeper and made him a little hesitant. But if he had attacked that one with a little bit more purpose and conviction, he could have probably struck a vital goal for UWI, who are on the attack again. Positive move down the left side. The cross, though, easily held on the near post. Ramon Reed. It was his cross from the right side that Gervin Brown headed in the first leg.
Yes.
Malik Foster with his pace, but his skill lets him down. Binns shoved off the ball. Oh, and the referee is awarding a free kick here to Portmore. Ramon Reed looking very physical on that play. East. Oh, his first touch showing a little bit too much of the ball. He has won a throw, though. Binns, who loves to kick them from distance. Manning. Manning's first touch is not very good, but he recovers well. Grandison. Great pass here to Morris. Morris's shot. Oh, well saved by Amal Knight. Fine effort there from Ricardo Morris, who usually favors his left boot. But I'll tell you what, that was a pretty good strike from the right.
Surprised me by the way he struck that crisply with the right foot. Beautiful pass from Ewan Grandison, bypassing the defenders. Look at this for a pass. Into space, Morris lets it bounce. And Amal Knight does what a keeper of his quality is required to do. Made it look easy.
Yeah, did really well there, Kamar Daly. Grandison.
The game coming alive now, Lance.
Ricketts putting the chase on. There are 3 Portmore players in the box waiting for a possible cross. Oh, referee rules that a dive, so UWI gets the counter-attack going. Garrison is getting away. Solomon puts the pressure on. Garrison's effort much too high.
Yeah, I agree with him going for this shot because Gervin Brown wasn't in a position to be given a pass, and the UWI players were slow in joining on the counter-attack. Look at this. Look how much ground he covers, and when he looks into the box, only Gervin Brown is there. No other man in a red shirt. Not many options. Yeah, I don't fault him for going for the effort, though.
Solomon, 22-year-old former Old Harbour player, made the national team to the Copa America Centenario last year in the USA. Great work there by Johnson. East. Oh, there's a player down. That's Ramon Reed, who has gone down hurt for UWI in a collision there just now.
Yeah, took a blow to the eye.
He's upset because he thinks that there should have been a whistle on the play. Actually shrugs the referee's gesture of sympathy away. So the ice back in hot conditions here. There's the play again. Oh, there was an elbow there.
Out of your shot, Lance. Kamar Daly is just telling Davian Garrison to keep calm. Perhaps he felt, the midfielder, that if Garrison had been calmer on the previous possession when Louis attacked, then they could have gotten a better end result. Felt that rush of blood caused Garrison to take that shot when off balance and under a challenge from Damona Solomon.
Is Marcel Gale, the coach of UWI, considers the 3-week break for them as Portmore went to play CFU competition a blessing in disguise. Approaching the half-hour mark. Suggesting that they were bothered by it. The point was put to them that Humberland complained bitterly about being idle. But he says that for UWI, they've pretty much appreciated it because they had work to do, they had players to get fit, there were some players with niggles and so on, and he pretty much appreciated the break. A good turnout here at the UWI Mona Bowl. Johnson cuts inside. Oh, delightful pass inside to East, but that's really, really well read there by Dino Schaff, who anticipated the play and knocks the ball behind for a corner.
Followed Javon East every step Dino Schaff did, and at the last moment nipped in ahead of the striker to turn that away. Good run by Roberto Johnson, though.
Again, 5 white shirts for Portmore in the box. Almost in the 6-yard box, while 2 Portmore players, Morris and Grandison, hover just outside the 18-yard area. Grandison. Good challenge being put on him there by Kamar Daly. Great work here by Harrison. Now the ball with him still. Cuts inside. Tries to loop the ball over there. Ramon Reed failing to get to it. Now, acres of room here for Foster on the right. Not satisfied with his options in the box, so he delays the cross eventually when he tried to get it off. He was blocked. Johnson for Portmore. Oh, that It's a pretty poor kick there by Johnson. I think he was probably heading for the far post, but put far too much weight on the effort.
Recall the first leg, how much success Ricardo Morris had against Jamie Robbins, because not only was he quicker, Lance, he is bigger, significantly taller than Jamie Robinson is. So he was able to out-muscle him, to bully him, and of course to run away from him. Malik Foster is quicker than Ricardo Morris, but he and Jamie Robinson are pretty much the same size. So when the ball is dead or there's no pace on the play, he doesn't have the physical edge on Jamie Robinson. So that's why the fullback has pretty much kept him in check so far.
Foster is under a lot of pressure. Does well to protect the ball. Foster. Now Binns. A little bit too straight, that pass from Binns. Amal Knight has the easy taken goal for UWI. Now Smith, the captain of UWI. Pass well cut off here by Manning. But Manning meets upon an aggressive Dino Schaff. Very, very hot afternoon. First ever TV broadcast of Red Stripe Premier League football from the UWI Bowl. And it comes in the second leg of the semi-final, with the home team looking to celebrate at the end of this fixture. Binns. He can strike it from there, you know, but Daly puts enough pressure on him to offset that move. East getting the headed touch onto that ball, but has given up a goal kick to UWI.
Portmore have looked very dangerous so far in this game on the occasions where Grandison and Binns have had time to look up and launch a 20-25 yard pass. The UWI have to be aware of that danger, the gift of those two men in the Portmore midfield. Beyond that, not much being created by the men in blue and white.
Orlando Brown under a lot of pressure here from Ricardo Morris. Oh, his clearance out is a good one because it finds Gervin Brown, who tries to twist his way past Dice. Dice pulls him back, I thought.
Poor play from Gervin Brown, though. His captain, Shane Smith, was to his right, waiting for a pass in space. He ignored him and lost the ball.
And now Portmore giving the ball away because Manning trying to find Ricketts down the left side. Plays a bad pass. UWI were pretty much on their way to becoming regular season champions, then lost their way towards the back end of the season. They had been on an unbeaten 11-game streak heading into the final 4 games, but then failed to win any of their last 4 matches, in fact losing 2 of them, and then lost out in the regular season battle to Humberland, who passed them on the final day.
Some people say it was pressure, Lance. As the finishing line got closer, that UWI wilted and would want to use it against them, that when the pressure is on, they don't cope well. They coped well in the first leg. They won that 2-1 and they're coping well so far.
Yes, they have a solid team, UWI, and have been very, very consistent over these 2 years that they have played first time in the Premier League.
Number 11 for the UWI, DeWine Smith, warming up. The coaching staff perhaps not satisfied with one of their front men. So Smith being prepared.
Dice is fast downfield. Foster doesn't know where the ball is. Now Grandison wins it, slides the ball through Grandison, but ball well read there by McKenzie, who has been a tower of strength for UWI this season at central defense. Grandison slides the ball through, trying to get, Javon East going. East tumbles over. Can he get the left footer off? 2 UWI players converge on the ball. The effort on goal, left footed, just goes wide in the end from Ricketts.
That's what you call crowded defending. Tanil McKenzie and Dino Schaff putting bodies on the line there to thwart the Portmore frontmen. East thought he had something, Lance, but didn't account for Dino Schaff diving at his feet. Did well Schaff to cut out the pass, but then lost it. But then look at him here. East will get up, will turn. Look at Schaff here. That's brilliant defending.
Yeah, Schaff was right there, and Geronda Henry was also there to assist if Schaff's effort came up short. So UWI defending with a lot of heart, as you would expect them to. I know it's a hot afternoon, so Portmore may not have gone into this game hell for leather from the opening whistle because they have 90 minutes to contend with. But I still think I would have seen, based on the state of this tie, a little bit more energy and urgency from Portmore from the start.
Fair point.
Daly fights hard with a headed play in midfield. Smith under pressure from behind now. Grandison comes to put some pressure on the two captains, but he takes the ball away from Grandison and plays a quiet pass here to Garrison. So UWI knocking the ball around. Kimar Dada Daly. Brown has a glance behind him. He sees where his former Jamaica College teammate was. Malik Foster. Ball comes out here to Daly. Can he strike one from distance? Oh, he goes into the box. Daly's effort is blocked in the end by Grandison, the captain.
Yeah. 3 men coming to close down that shot as Daly strode into the penalty area. A good job they did, because he was taking dead aim at Shavin Sean Paul's goal. Hesitation to get away from Ricardo Morris, and then Dyson Garrison coming across to smother the effort.
Very, very experienced player. Kimar Daly, a 29-year-old. Previously played for Medhaven, Tivoli, and Harbourview before transferring to UWI, and had a stint in 2012-2013 with Preston North End in England. Ball heading inside, the shot on goal, the header on goal, punched over the top. The ball's still alive, and Portmore trying to scramble the ball out. Smith keeps it in. Oh, the effort from Garrison goes really wide, but there was pressure on him by Grandison for Portmore. But Portmore living dangerously there, and there were elements of that passage of play that you have to feel that UWI could have done better with.
That man Dino Schaff again with the free header, and then it fell to the man wearing number 20, Ramon Reed, whose header was turned away by Shavin Sean Paul. And in the end, Portmore lived to fight again.
Oh, Paul just slapping that one over the crossbar as the header came in. Henry's pass upfield to Reed under some pressure. A bit of a wrestling match for the ball. Referee Morrison awards a free kick to UWI close to the touchline on the right.
Yeah, Gervin Brown working really hard, going outside right position to get possession for the UE.
Garrison goes high for the header, gets it, but doesn't get a lot of purchase on. And Shavin Sean Paul has an easy job in the Portmore goal. Handball. Referee allows the play to go on. Kenzie, as he usually does, breaks up the play in the center of the defense. Foster under a lot of pressure here. Huge battle here we've seen so far in this match between Malik Foster and Jamie Robinson. Robinson to this point, very, very solid. Daly, oh, great cross inside here. Maybe a little bit too much weight from Malik Foster. And Geronda Henry just shadows and allows the ball to go over the touchline for a throw.
For the first time this afternoon, Foster getting the better of Robinson, and then the cross came to naught. But I was breaking down that battle earlier. Both men similar size. Foster quick, nippy, but hasn't had the success that Morris had against Robinson in the first leg in Clarendon.
Oh, there's the passing ability of Binns on display. Johnson's cross inside looking for Foster, who has trouble getting control of the ball as the ball bounced awkwardly to him. Foster. Again being tackled here by, this time, Alonda Brown, as Robinson was in the background shadowy.
Yeah, Alonda Brown has also assisted Robinson very, very well in shackling Malik Foster. And the former JC man, player I like very much, Lance. Playing well so far in this game.
Yeah, they would have been at Jamaica College at the same time, Alonda Brown and Malik Foster. So they were teammates at schoolboy level, but rivals here now in the RSPL. Manning for Portmore. 5 minutes and more to the halftime break. And So far, things going satisfactory for UWI, who lead the tie by 2-1, and only need to avoid defeat here to march into the final. In only their second season.
Come half-time, Lance, if it remains at 0-0, the UWI need to catch a second win. You made the point that they are just not aggressive enough for a team that's facing a deficit.
Yeah.
The game being played at a pace that the UWI would appreciate. And that's not doing Portmore any good.
That's just the point. Easy for us to say we're in the shaded comfort of the commentary box.
We get paid to talk.
Brown goes for the long play across. Manning makes a good headed pass here towards Ricketts. Ricketts tripped here by Geronda Henry. Free kick to Portmore. He's trying to turn his man, Dino Schaff. Oh, great play here by Javon East. Excellent skill by the former Calabar man. Foster tries to get there.
Excellent intervention by Jamie Robinson, though.
Johnson. Oh, Johnson's second touch, poor. Invites the challenge here from Reed, and now the whistle for a free kick to Portmore.
Card booking for the first foul on Roberta Johnson. And
it's going to be Ramon Reed, I think.
Yeah. There was a second foul where Alanda Brown clattered Malik Foster, but that was after the referee had whistled for the first foul. Foster still on the ground, but Johnson looks to be in more pain. And that was because of a bad pass by Kemar Dailylands, who wanted to just knock back the ball to Ramon Reed, undercooked it severely, and presented a 50-50 situation where the defender went in taking no prisoners. The effect of that is that Roberta Johnson feeling the pain on the floor now.
Yeah. Been a tough outing here for Malik Foster, who gets a starting position today. Usually comes on as a super sub when, because of his pace, George, he usually revels in that role when players are beginning to tire in the 60th, 70th minute, 75th minute, and he comes on with his extreme pace. Things a little different for him this afternoon. He's been given a starting roster and he's being roughed up by the UWI defenders.
Yeah, not getting much success, but look at Binns now, Lance. This is his range.
Binns with a left-footed strike. He has 4 Portmore white shirts to aim at on the edge of the 6-yard box. Goes low, straight into the wall. Oh, fights hard and recovers the ball, Binns. Oh, he should have crossed. He tried to dribble, but he's won a corner.
Wow, poor effort to start it from Binns, but getting something out of it because Rashane Smith, not thinking like a defender, instinctively would boot that into touch, tried to dribble around him, lost the ball, and Binns ended up getting a corner.
Referee Morrison busy here. Here's the play here. Binns coming back to win the ball here. Maybe he should have crossed at this point, but then went for the dribble, and Daly blocked him. UWI whistle. There's some shoving, I think, in the box. Referee Kevin Morrison spotting it.
Yeah. It's been an even first half. Both teams have had chances, but none better than Gervon Brown, it must be said. Both teams have looked dangerous. The UA a little bit more so than Portmore. But the tempo of the game is suiting the men in red, who are protecting that 2-1 lead.
Two pretty solid teams, as we've said here. Neither having an advantage in their head-to-head stats. 7 meetings between them so far. 3 Portmore wins, 3 UWI wins, and 1 drawn result. Ricketts keeps possession of the ball. Ricketts knocked off balance initially. Now Foster. Foster's cross to the far post. Amal Knight on the far post does well.
Yeah, good idea. That's where he needed to have passed that ball. Should have kept it a little bit away from Amal Knight in the end, but good build-up from Portmore.
Yeah, Knight, tall, solid goalkeeper, probably 6 feet 4 inches or so. Very, very good handler of the ball. This is Smith, captain of UWI. Robinson finds his captain once again. Smith gives the ball away. Now Morris, who has been pretty quiet here in this match so far, who, for a player that's considered an impact player for Portmore, takes the return play, darts towards the 18. His cross inside finds, East was unable to keep control of the ball. The ball rushed on him. He was almost caught surprised by how quickly the ball reached him, or if it reached him at all, because there was a UWI defender right there, and he wasn't able to do anything with it.
And that's why he missed, because Geronde Henry's flick was what turned the ball in his direction. He wasn't prepared for it.
Yeah, disappointment there for Javon East. The ball just whipped inside by Morris, his teammate. 2 minutes added on for stoppages, and UWI enjoying a 2-1 advantage still on aggregate with a score here at 0-0.
So Morris reaped success down the right flank for Portmore in the first leg. He's given up that role to Malik Foster. The first time he comes on the right flank, Lance, he creates something. That's a message for the Portmore coach.
Daly with the ball for UWI. Step overs. The effort blocked in the end by Johnson. Binns is there. Plays with a lot of composure. Johnson waiting for the ball, and Smith beats him to it. Now Daly. Whistle. Offside flag against Daly, who was behind the last defender.
Yeah, poor from Kemar there. They should have known where he was, a player of his quality. Awareness letting him down there. But yeah, tried the step over was on Roberto Johnson, who stood firm, wasn't fooled, and in the end blocked the effort from the UWI midfield general.
Well, by our clock, we have approximately 40 seconds remaining in this half, and UWI keeping things tight and ensuring there are no slip-ups at the back. And they have kept a clean sheet, as they have 5 of their last 10 matches, UWI. There's a steadiness and real efficient organization about this UWI team, which I think is the reason why they have done so well. Javon East with a diving header on goal, put under a lot of pressure from Jamie Robinson, and no one gets to that. It's a goal kick.
Brilliant defending, well, brilliant football. Fantastic cross from Kareem Manning from the left-hand side, guided like a laser. Look at this, hits his head up, whips it in, takes out 2 defenders, and Robinson putting enough pressure on East. And that's the reason that's not in the back of the net.
Yeah, so referee Kevin Morrison has seen enough of the first half. 45 minutes plus 2 minutes added on for stoppages. Portmore's coaching staff not getting an early goal that they would have desired here, but they still have 45 minutes to erase the 2-1 deficit. As it stands, UWI still ahead in the tie by 2 goals to 1. It's 0-0 at the UWI Bowl. UWI, second season performance in the Premier League, up against 5-time champions Portmore. Aggregate again 2-1 at halftime, 0-0 here in the second leg. Back in a moment.
One bag of gold medal pan me no. Red stripe alone champion boy go. Pan up for them a singing anthem. Red stripe, watch out. Man shall I be the forward boy. Red stripe Premier League champion boy score. Every goal when I run from boy. Red stripe Premier League champion boy now.
The Red Stripe Premier League for champions only.
At the U Bowl, it's 0-0 at halftime here between Portmore United and UWIFC. UWI, based on their 2-1 win in the first leg at Jamaica 3 weeks ago, leading on aggregate by 2-1. So lots of pressure here on Portmore to reverse the score. If the score remains as it is, it's UWI that will go through to the final against Arnett Gardens. Pretty bad miss there by Grandison. Miscontrols the ball. The surface giving him problems. Gervin Brown snatching the ball from him here. Charges into the box, but unable to get close enough range on goal, and his effort to go far post goes badly wide. Another effort here from UWI with Garrison's Industry on the left side, getting away from Damano Solomon. Determined enough to get the cross inside, but Shavin Sean Paul on the near post was right there for it. UWI having a lot of the early action here. Just arriving late, Dino Schapp on the far post. UWI putting a lot of pressure on early. There were moments for Portmore as well. Ricardo Morris's piercing right-footed effort, well saved by Amal Knight in the UWI goal. Javon East trying to build something here for himself, but a cluster of UWI defenders getting in the way there, and his eventual left-footed effort blocked well by Dino Schaff. Final effort also going wide from, I think that was Ricketts. But UWI's defenders really determined there. Look at the numbers as they tried to block the effort. This one headed on goal, punched away by goalkeeper Shavin Sean Paul. Fine save there, just slapping the ball away. That was certainly going into the goal. Morris is here now with his cross inside. Ball rushing onto Javon East, and he's unable to do anything with it. And that's how the first half ended. So a pretty competitive first half here. There were moments, George, for both teams, with UWI having more attempts on goal, 7 of them, but each just having 1 on target. 11 fouls so far in the match, 6 of them to UWI. Outside of that, the other important stat here, UWI 52% ball possession. Portmore not having as much time on the ball as UWI, but there were some threatening moments for the former champions.
Yeah, the UWI are sort of conservative. When I know that when they broke Lance on the counter-attack, not more than 3 men ran forward because they were holding their shape just in case that play broke down and they had to defend on the counter. They have the lead. The onus isn't on them to win this game, and so almost conservative from the UWI without being overtly so.
So under very hot conditions here at the UWI Bowl, let's go to the infield and Danique.
Thank you so much, guys. We are here at the UWI Bowl, home of the UWI Pelicans. No goals yet after the first half, but we have a second half coming right up. But in the meantime, let's take a look at this feature on the UWI Football Club.
Working from 9 to 5, I'm trying to strive. I gotta keep my eyes to prize. Yeah.
The combination of professional sports and tertiary education is new to the Caribbean, but it's not a new phenomenon. Universities such as Universidad de Chile and Universidad de Católica have successfully mastered the combined practice of sports and study.
The leadership of the campus then was very clear as to the role of sports in student development, in national development, in regional development. And so the quest was for us to participate at the highest level of competition in football. A number of other sporting disciplines that we are involved in, but the road to the Premier League was born out of the then leadership of the campus in the form of Professor Gordon Shirley. But within the last decade, we began our participation actively in a number of national competitions to include the lower leagues like the Major League and the Super League until we finally qualified for the National Premier League.
Is the team made up exclusively of UWI students?
The team consists of a number of students and members of the alumni who would have been student athletes, scholarship athletes even here on the campus.
We fall under the Department of Sports, so Yeah, it is part of the university. Despite us having or fielding some players who are professionals, we do field alumni as well and also students.
The University of the West Indies Mona has been integral in the university-owned club. Is a percentage of the students' tuition allocated to financing the Pelicans?
There are financial subventions that will come from the PLC on a monthly basis. We also do seek sponsorship for the work that we do, and we have been grateful. We are grateful to a number of sponsors who have come on board to assist us with the financing of the football club.
What is the secret to the Pelicans doing so well so soon?
So here on the campus, we have an excellent sports medicine program. We do physiotherapy as a part of the Faculty of Medical Sciences. And so we're able to draw on these resources to help the work that we do. So it's a very comprehensive and inclusive program.
We don't have no covert secret that we can say the other teams don't have as well.
We're just playing some football, listening to the coach's instruction, and at the end of the day, we're coming out victorious each match.
We thrive on ambition, we thrive on enthusiasm, and we thrive on the fact that every day we go to play, we want to win. So if you work hard and have the right mentality and attitude as a collective group, then you can be successful.
So I have gotten a great opportunity here today. I get to talk to the former director of sports for the University of the West Indies. This is Mr. Dalton Myers. Dalton, how are you today?
I'm great.
Thanks for being here.
Yeah, man, thanks for having me.
All right, so first off, I want to ask you, it's an amazing feat. It's awesome what's happening with UA right now, but how can you appreciate the transfer from just a regular school varsity team to professional?
I think it has been a great performance. It's been something that we wanted to do, but we weren't too sure if it could happen. And we started out in the Sid Bartlett, that's like about 8 years ago, moved through that to the Major League, the Super League, the playoffs, and now in the Premier League, and now we're in the semi-finals. It's an absolutely amazing experience, and I think even the team is appreciating this.
How is the school in general? How's the support from the school for the football team?
I guess it has been great. The students, the staff, the persons from the community, certainly the Mona community, Augustown, etc. It's been fantastic. They have been giving us a lot of support, and we have appreciated it, and as you can see, we've been doing well.
Yeah, definitely. It's actually one of the teams I always talk about when we're on air, because they've done so tremendously well with the season this year, and I'm so proud of them and happy that they're in the semifinals. No, but I remember we talked a little bit about the transition, but how was it? Was it a hard transition to come into professional?
It was difficult. It's not an easy one. I think in our first 3 games, we lost those. I think we're like -10 in terms of goal difference. What we did was to really strengthen our management structure, and that is what has helped us. We have a fantastic coach. Our manager, Kerry Robinson, is amazing. And so that's what we really did, to really strengthen the management and not necessarily to go to try to get like big name players all over the place. We just wanted some really committed players who wanted to be with us. And that is what has helped us to this point.
Well, that is so amazing. Now, the confidence is unbounded. That is definitely obvious. What would a win mean for UA, the UA Pelicans, this year?
I think it would be amazing. I think a few years ago, we never imagined that this is where we'll be this quickly. So for the players, the fans who are here, and just for the general public out there, they will be happy. And certainly I would be happy. It would be an amazing and great feeling for all of us to get into the final, and even better, to win the championship.
All right, thank you so much, Dalton. I appreciate you talking to us today.
Yeah, man. Thanks.
That was Dalton Myers, former director of the University of the West Indies Sports. Now, listen, second half action is coming up next. As you heard, if you've been paying attention, UA has been doing extremely well, and today they face off with Portmore United here at the Mona Bowl. We have the second half coming up in just a minute. Stay with us, guys. We'll be right back.
Me say one one bag of gold medal pan me now. Red stripe alone champion boy go. Pan a pour them a singing anthem to. Red stripe, watch out, watch out, watch out. Man, shall I be the forward boy? Red stripe Premier League champion boy score. Every goal winner run from boy. Red stripe Premier League champion boy now.
The Red Stripe Premier League for champions only.
Back on the UE Mono Ball with UWI and Portmore in battle here. The cross inside from Morris. Opening play here of the second half. Second leg semi-final of the Red Stripe Premier League. 0-0 at half-time. 0-0 here at the beginning of the second half. Portmore trailing by 2-1 on aggregate following the result of the opening semi-final, or the first leg semi-final 3 weeks ago in Jamaica.
Yeah. Portmore on the front foot immediately.
Ball crossed inside by Binns, the header by Foster on the near post. UWI is scrambling the ball away.
Unlucky.
Garrison, yeah. Daly. 3 against 3 at the moment here for UWI. Now the Portmore players are tracking back. Manning with a heavy left-footed clearance to keep Alonda Brown from getting through.
Wow, that was a nice corner kick from Michael Binns. The shortest man in the Portmore team sought to meet it at the near post. Didn't get maybe only his hair on it. Needed a better connection. UWI dodging a bullet there.
Portmore trying to defend here as Portmore starting off the second half here pretty briskly. I would have thought their coach Linville Dixon would have lit some fire under them. Oh, Gervin Brown turns well here, but he's blocked. Now the effort on goal, the deflection, the crossbar. Garrison inches away from his 6th goal of the season. Unlucky. I think there was a slight deflection as well.
There was, but Gervin Brown's play contributed to that chance. Muscled his way between the two Portmore centre halves, Dice and Solomon. Didn't manufacture a shot, but the ball broke for Garrison, whose effort took a lucky deflection. This is Garrison running on.
Yeah.
And it was Roberto Johnson who was back there. The ball came off him and off Shavon Sean Paul's crossbar. And that man left disappointed.
The deflection, though, was taking the ball away from Shavon Sean Paul. Maybe if there wasn't a deflection, Paul would have gotten to it. But there's no way we would know now what would have happened. Good corner, solid corner. What happened there? The ball is behind. The referee says it's a goal kick.
Yeah, Ramon Reed knocked it behind, but he's saying he was grabbed by the defender. He should have put that away, but he's saying that he was impeded. I can't believe he missed that, Lance, I'm telling you.
Yeah, he was right there on the near post. It seemed easier to get the ball on the goal than away from the goal.
Oh, it hit his knee.
Oh. And there he is trying to shift the blame to the defender who unsettled him. Ball slid forward there by Robinson. Garrison robbed of the ball by Solomon. Solomon's pass cut off though by Daly. 3 against 3 here for, oh, that's a challenge by Solomon on Daly. A card is going to come out for the stocky central defender for Portmore.
I tell you what, it looks awful, but he had to. Daly tricked him, drew him in and then knocked it away. In a foot race, there's only one winner, and that's the Mona Solomon. Daly doesn't have that pace anymore, but he fooled the central defender, drew him in here and then knocked it away. He had to foul him.
So he's taken one for the team here. A yellow card, that is. Solomon goes back now to work on his defensive duties.
This is dangerous now.
Yes.
Lance, watch Dino Schaff, number 41. He's going to come from the back post. He has scored a few headers this season. He loves these situations. The central defender up for the UWI in attack.
Daly will try this one right-footed. 4 red shirts on the edge of the 6-yard box. Oh, 2 straight there to the goalkeeper on the near post.
Morris robbed of the ball. Henry getting a good touch onto that one. And now here comes Binns. East keeps the ball in. Binns. Ricketts. Grandison's under pressure. Does well with his robust play, Grandison. Squirts the ball out here. Poor effort there from Johnson. His eyes lit up. There was no one challenging him, so he had a free hit at goal, but certainly would have felt that he should have done better there, the 21-year-old.
Wasn't helped by a little bubble, as we see Portmore warming up Cleon Price and Damian Binns.
Apart from being five-time Red Stripe Premier League champions, Portmore, they were also champions of the Caribbean Football Union Club Championship in 2005, where they defeated Suriname's Robin Hood in the final. In that period, their game was assisted, George, in no small measure to the quality midfield player of the Grenadian, Anthony Modeste.
Yeah, who in his later years with Portmore retreated into the defense. A very, very versatile player, Anthony Modeste. Garrison is down with another injury, Lance.
Yeah, Modeste in his retirement has also elevated to the Grenada national coach. And Garrison again struggling here with an injury. There was a player warming up on the UWI bench before half-time.
It was the number 11, Dawine Smith.
Yeah, and no sign of him yet.
Yeah,
so
he's getting ready as we speak, Lance. Just below us, he's putting on his shin pads. So Dawine Smith looks as if he's going to come in. Yeah, he looks as if Garrison is done, Lance.
Yeah, he looks very shaky. And we have to think that they may have been watching how much discomfort he had been in from the first half, because he was knocked up a couple of times. And maybe that change with Dawine Smith coming on was always pending.
Yep. Another man having some trouble for the UWI is the number 20 player, who is now sat. Well, there's a change made. I'm going to tell you what. But UWI is still one man short, because Garrison is off, but so too is number 20, Ramon Reed, who's getting some medical attention down below us.
In the meantime,
Garrison is back on, so the substitution is actually Dawine Smith comes on for Ramon Reed. 11 in, 20 out for the UWI.
Mackenzie. Oh, how solid he has been in defense for UWI. Foster. East unable to get close enough to that one, because, as usual, Mackenzie's right there. Daly. Dawine Smith substitute, first touch of the ball, immediately in play here now. Not satisfied with his passing options up front, so he goes back home. Dice shadows well here. Brown does well, puts himself between the ball and the player, and he's forced a corner here. Good work there by Gervin Brown. Pressure from the forward on the defender.
Portmore making a change as well. Cleon Price has just handed a paper to the fourth official. I can tell you that down below us, Lance, the player Ramon Reed, who was substituted for the UWI, looks to be a head problem. Recall when he got that blow to the eye late in the first half? I think that's still bothering him. It may be a mild concussion. I'm not a doctor. I'm not going to venture too far, but they're concerned enough. They're making some calls, and the medical staff very attentive to Ramon Reed as he sits on the UWI bench.
Corner to UWI. Red shirts in the box waiting for scoring opportunities. To the far post it goes. Schaff heads right inside. And Johnson is the one that gets the clearance out for Portmore. Great headed pass there by Jovan East. Morris's cross inside is not good enough. Looking for Malik Foster, who was darting down to the far post. But too much weight on the cross coming from Morris. And the Portmore's chance at the counter-attack there, dissipating badly.
Yeah, two changes being lined up by Portmore now, Lance. Number 19 and number 18 coming in, Cleon Price and Jeremy Lynch, actually. So they're going to make a double change, it would seem.
Johnson is coming out. So Johnson is being replaced here. So attacking
strategy being employed now by Portmore, because Johnson was at right back, and the two players who are coming on essentially are attacking players.
Jeremy Lynch is on for Enrico Ricketts. That's the second change.
Jeremy Lynch.
So the approach for Portmore now very clear. They need goals. He's trying to whip that one in left-footed. Confirmation of Ricketts exiting the game. Lynch taking his place. Lynch coming off a season of the USL Pro League. Back in domestic football this year.
Lance, the UWIFC substitute Ramon Reed is being led to the ambulance. I can tell you that much. And he's holding his head. Doesn't seem to be quite right. We wish the best for the young man.
Foster under pressure here from Garrison, and there's a collision that leaves two players on opposing sides injured.
Grandison and it would seem Jamie Robinson.
Grandison lost a tooth in a regular season match at Jamalco. I think it was against Jamalco.
Yes.
In a similar crunching situation in the middle of the park.
That's Ramon Reed.
There's Ramon Reed, the man whose cross in the first leg semi-final gave Gervin Brown the headed goal and the equalizing goal to set up the comeback for UWI. Now problems for him as he has a headache that is sending him up to the hospital. There he is entering the ambulance. So we hope he'll be okay. In the meantime, his teammates will feel that they have a job to do in his absence.
UWI, though, have taken the initiative in this game, have been on the front foot from the start of the second half, pressing, pushing, two attacking changes. Let's see what that will yield for them.
And more players now filling up the box for Portmore. Bince's corner kick is dangerous. Brown gets the header out. I don't think Morris recognized how close Garrison was to that ball. He wins it though and whips the cross inside, and it's the captain Smith that knocks it behind for a corner. So Portmore looking to ignite themselves here with the fresh legs on.
Yeah, I mean, Morris now coming into the game as an attacking force. That's twice now he's attempted crosses, one poor, and this one resulting in a corner.
Well, for all of the first half, every corner they had 5 players in the box. Now they have 6. With Morris hanging out on the back end. Oh, the header on goal to the near post. What a save by Amal Knight. Dice going up with the header on the far post. Headed with power and accuracy as well. But that man, Amal Knight, one of the best goalkeepers in the land, denies the big central defender.
Goalkeeping is 70% positioning, and the reason this save ended up to be regulation was because Knight was in the right position, then effected the rest of it with good glove work.
Bince with the other corner, and again Knight is right there on the near post. Oh, good headed pass there by Kamar Daly. Garrison chasing for all he's worth over on the left, but not able to keep it in. Portmore putting the pressure on. Foster under pressure from Mackenzie. Oh, Mackenzie doesn't put her foot wrong, does he?
Coming across Lance like a freight liner laden with cement. Foster did his best to get out of the way.
Confirmation, George, that there's a concussion there for Ramon Reed, so that's why he's off to the hospital.
I can dabble in medicine, Lance.
Mackenzie's clearance is high, getting a lot of distance on it. Oh, look at the control from Bince. Oh, he's tripped now by Daly. Free kick to Portmore. Oh, what good skill there from Binzi. That ball went about a mile in the air, and look how well he takes it down.
Ooh, I do that regularly, Lance.
Oh, you do?
Oh, yes.
Oh, bring the video, George. We can't take your word for it. That was high quality stuff. Our producer says, you mean after you wake up from the dream?
I tell you, these men, So my word isn't good enough.
Well, Binns is known for scoring free kicks from these positions. Portmore badly need one from him now. He's up though against one of the best goalkeepers in domestic football. A four-man wall here set up by UWI. Morris stands there, but I'm pretty certain Binns will strike it. Binns is over the top with it.
Not the right angle for him. Wasn't central enough, so he could bend into one corner, and I never fancied it from the start.
Knight has nothing to worry about in the UWI goal as we are past the hour mark, and UWI are keeping things tidy. McKenzie, long floated pass upfield, sends a counter-attacking play going with Robinson, the cross inside. Oh, Brown sets the ball across here, and the shot on the near post is tipped over by Shavin Sean Paul. I wonder about that choice of passing the ball.
Lack of awareness from Gervon Brown, because behind him was Garrison waiting for the ball, and that's not the option that Gervon Brown should have chosen.
Yeah, if he was more aware, the dummy would have been an excellent play. And then Garrison would have had a clean run on goal. Goalkeeper alone to beat. And make Portmore's job even more of an uphill task. Solomon with a header. Or was it Jeremy Lynch? I think it was. It was Lynch with a header. Substitute Jeremy Lynch. Had a call up for the national team a couple of months ago. Paul's kick out clears the half line. Solomon gets there. Gervon Brown sends Garrison going, but Solomon puts the chase on. Solomon, very robust and aggressive central defender.
And quick.
Yeah. Manning with the throw for Portmore, who are now beginning to look a little bit more urgent because time is winding down on them. There's Jovan East. He was their leading goal scorer last year, East. So far this year, he is trailing a couple of his teammates. He has 6 goals so far this season. Kent takes no chances. The big central defender in number 17. Even from this point, you would have to, his name would have to surface in a man of the match conversation.
Yeah, alongside his defensive partner, Dino Schaff.
Yeah.
Neither man has put a foot wrong.
Manning to Solomon. UWI having more of the ball possession at the moment, 55%. So they are trying their best, UWI, to stifle Portmore's advance and their hopes of denying them a spot in the final.
Well, the pressure building from the men in blue and white, and let's see the resilience of this UWI team. The coach may not need Patrick Brown this afternoon if the score remains the same, because he doesn't need a goal, Marcel Gale. What he needs is a clean sheet.
UWI have been nothing short of outstanding in their short period here in the top flight. The cross, dangerous, but Shavin Sean Paul has the easy take. In the scheme of things, you would think a new team in the Premier League would be satisfied enough to ensure that they maintain their place and not get relegated. They did a lot better than that and only missed the playoff spot by 1 point last year in their first season, and now second season, challenging for a place in the final. Morris does well here. Foster comes to help him out. Players in the box waiting. Price is there with the opportunity. Oh, he misses here now. But East is turning this one across to Foster. And Grandis's effort is over the top.
Wow, I just spoke about the pressure building and the resilience of the UWI being tested. Brilliant work from Ricardo Morris, the most dangerous player for Portmore over the first leg and bits of this second leg. Look at him. Mackenzie is baited into coming for a tackle. The ball is not there. And then Foster cuts it back. Jeremy Lynch kicks fresh air. And then the play will break down after this. But for a while there, Lance, UWI outnumbered in their 18-yard box by white shirts.
Yeah, that looked very dangerous, and that would have been a pretty nervy moment there for the UWI coaching staff. Garrison trying to get by Manning, but Manning is tackling robustly here.
What a good challenge that was.
Henry with a throw for UWI. Conditions a little bit cooler now because the sun has gone behind some clouds. Time running out on Portmore, less than 25 minutes of normal time remaining. Oh, Daly. Expected DeWine Smith to go for that, he didn't. Price turns well. Grandison. You want to go for the long ball, Grandison, and he does. What an excellent pass to Jovan East. Now to Morris. Morris's cross, good, but Amal Knight better.
Very good football all around. Portmore United, very good build-up. Ricardo Morris, the cross was good, but just not outside of the orbit of the very tall goalkeeper for the UWI. Look at this for a cross-feed pass from Grandison.
One of his strong points, Grandison, those long balls. Passes accurately from long range. But what a save that was from Knight. Alert. Just snatching the ball from the onrushing Portmore players coming in.
Most goalkeepers have good hand work, good glove work.
DeWine Smith going for the back heel, unsuccessful. Foster putting a lot of pressure on him. Does well to keep possession of the ball. Oh my God. Not a good touch into the ball, just trying to turn the ball in there, but not getting a hold of it properly. Brown.
The second chance missed by the UWI's top marksman, Gervin Brown.
Grandison now.
Portmore United, Lance, are up to the task now. They've come to the party now.
Binns. Perfect pass to Foster. Price. Challenged strongly from behind by Dino Schaff. And he's actually hurt Schaff, so Schaff has gone down. And a free kick for Portmore that Binns or Grandison would enjoy striking.
Yeah, hard tackle from Dino Schaff. Cleon Price hurt by that one, coming through with the back.
Wow. Yeah, that looked pretty aggressive.
This is the ball. And Gervin Brown. The ball, the bounce again.
Yeah.
It bounced waist height, so really he couldn't do much with it.
He had a bit of an awkward attempt there because of how the ball was bouncing to him, but he, as a striker and a natural goal scorer, will be disappointed he didn't do better with that.
What does Binns do from here?
Well, I think he'd go for goal again. He tried first time, was high. Maybe he'll be better this time. No, he isn't. This time into the wall. Dice. Oh, Knight, a little cheeky there. Almost daring Lynch to come for the ball. Snatched it off his boot in the last second.
So for the first time in this game, Lance, the UWI looking like they're under pressure.
Yeah, Portmore's quality now beginning to show itself. Dice's pass upfield is wayward. Robbed by Roshane Smith, and DeWine Smith is unable to keep the ball in. Hasn't been that effective, Smith, since he's come on for Ramon Reed.
No, hasn't made an impact.
Solomon. UWI doing a very good job of marking up here, so limiting the passing options for Portmore. Now Lynch makes himself free.
Portmore preparing a change, Lance. Damian Binns, number 24, looking to come in. And the fourth official, as soon as he gets the referee's attention, will usher in that change. Getting some final instructions from Linval Dixon beneath us.
So the fans have seen no goals so far this afternoon, and a situation that suits UWI as they lead. Oh, the dummy. There goes Morris with the effort on goal, and it's high.
Wow, that was a glorious chance. Malik Foster kicked the hoarding in frustration. He was expecting a cross, but Morris allowed it to run free. This is Malik Foster's pass, dummy by Cleon Price.
Good football.
On the good foot. And he was straining, Lance, and stretching. No way he was going to guide that on target.
Yeah, I thought he was in two minds as whether he wanted to go for a shot or get the cross in.
Jovan East comes out, Lance, disappointed to be substituted, to be replaced by number 24, Damian Binns.
Damian Binns scored one of the 2 goals against Central FC in the 3rd place playoff of the CFU Club Championship. Cleon Price, who just came on, scored the other goal. So fresh from goals in the CFU Club Championship, Cleon Price and Damian Binns are now on. Price tries to get to the end of this one, but Knight alert in the box for UWI, snatches the danger out.
The busiest player on the park in the last 5 to 7 minutes, Amal Knight, the UWI goalkeeper. That's a good sign for Portmore. They need to keep this going. The UWI, on the other hand, have to stay sharp in defense. Mackenzie and the Schaff have to continue to be good in anticipating and tackling.
Late challenge there by Binns, but the referee allows the play to go on because UWI having the advantage and he doesn't want to take that away from them. Free kick to UWI. A foul on Garrison for the umpteenth time of the match.
Yeah.
Portmore now making all their substitutions, so their coach Linval Dixon has played all his cards.
Yep.
No more shots to fire for Portmore, so the current 11 on the field will have to do the job. Fans enjoying their red stripe since the players aren't giving them any goals. Manning wins the battle. Binns, the substitute, gets into the play pretty quickly here for Portmore. Solomon looking for Price. Schaff gets there first.
And it isn't a tactical revolution that has caused Portmore to have taken the ascendancy in this game, Lance. It's just greater urgency.
Yeah. Price, former Cavalier player. Grandison, Binns. Binns goes for goal from distance. Oh, he's been a little off target with his shooting boots today, Binns.
Not his usual precise self at all. I wouldn't fault him for going for goal from there, because if there's one player on the park who can get that done, it's him. Under some pressure from Kemar Daly.
Credit must go to the UWI players who have shown the kind of urgency on the field today in all areas, defense and midfield, to not allow Portmore any rhythm or the ability to settle on the ball.
I think the greatest thing you can say for that, Lance, is that so far there hasn't been a UWI mistake that has presented a chance. Yes, Portmore have had chances, but that's because they've created chances, not because of any defensive error or otherwise.
Manning slaps Garrison in the face as both of them went for the ball. He'll claim that he just stuck his hand out to give himself the advantage in going for the ball, but the officials don't agree.
He goes into the book. Kareem Manning.
Yeah, both players chasing the ball then. And Manning just put his hand up.
Let me see this.
There it is.
Oh, that's not a slap. He was just holding him at bay, because Garrison has done that several times, especially when he's being chased by Demona Solomon, has put his arm out to slow the advance of the central defender. Manning was doing the same thing, trying to slow the advance of the forward who's pressing him for the ball.
Well, it happened right in front of the assistant referee. And the whistle goes and the yellow card comes out. So Manning gets into the referee's bad books. Free kick to UWI. Kemar Daly. Only 3 UWI forwards in the box. Daly plays a
pass. Henry looking for the return play. Now Roshane Smith. Oh, that's a great ball. Solomon does really well there to deny the opportunity for DeWine Smith.
I thought he was beaten, you know, Lance.
Yeah, Solomon did really well there. Hung in the air like Michael Jordan.
Oh, yes.
And got the effective header off.
Well, these days we have to say LeBron James or will be accused of bias. But Michael Jordan it is because he's the reference point.
Yeah, and I'll defend it because of my age.
There you go.
So less than 50 minutes of normal time remaining, and UWI doing the job their coach wants, and that is to prevent Portmore from scoring. A spot in the final awaits if they can keep the score as it is. Binns, that's Damian Binns, under pressure. 3 UWI players pressuring him, and he's won a corner. Good work there by Binns.
Excellent work, but good defending as well to ensure that he wasn't going to get an easy opportunity to cross that ball.
Big high corner kick. Solomon reacts quickly here, but doesn't keep the ball in. Pretty good in these set plays on the corners. Solomon, that's why every corner kick they get, he is thrusted up into the attacking role.
Down below us, Lance. Patrick Brown is limbering up for the UWI. Looks as if he's going to be their second substitution.
Well, this man, Linval Dixon, has no more substitutions to make. Marcel Gale pulling the cards out for UWI. Also the assistant coach of St. George's College in Manning Cup football.
Yes.
Marcel Gale has been a part of, I would say, about 3 of the last St. George's College Manning Cup title successes themselves, and Jamaica College dominating schoolboy football now for a decade. Wow, that was pretty risky there from Schaff, allowing the ball to run through to Amal Knight, but Cleon Price was in the proximity there to probably snatch the ball, and he was just a half a second late.
And based on the reaction of goalkeeper Amal Knight, I don't believe it was a goalkeeper's call to allow it to run.
Yeah.
Schaff just took that decision and almost put Price in business.
Having said that, I'm not too sure what Price would have been able to do at that angle and the pace that he was running to the ball. He would have probably had to take a touch or two to turn himself in for a shot, because the goalkeeper was right there. Free kick to Portmore. Time running out on the 5-time champions. And the rookies, second season UWI. Minutes away from a spot in the final. Binns keeps the ball in. Players darting in the box, waiting for an opportunity. Schaff gets a boot there. And now Smith to DeWine Smith. UWI trying to play with as much composure as possible. Gervin Brown puts the chase on. Solomon does really well here for Portmore.
This has been a good performance from the UWI so far. And Lance, if their marksman had his shooting boots on today, Gervin Brown, they'd have at least had 2 goals already.
Yes.
Because he missed 2 glorious chances.
Binns. Lynch. That's Damian Binns now with the ball for Portmore. Smith challenges with a lot of vigor here. What a way the captain, oh, that's actually Garrison putting the pressure on and forcing the turnover.
That's why that's why I like this player so much, Lance. So much industry.
Yeah.
Never stops running.
Bad pass inside by Henry.
What do you make of the Malik Foster experiment to start him?
Well, it hasn't worked. It hasn't really worked. He has tried hard, he has worked hard, he's used his pace to try to annoy the UWI defenders, but
the end product hasn't been satisfactory for Portmore.
So
well,
Gervon
not
Brown
up to this point.
One Brown for the other. Gervon comes out. Patrick Brown comes in. Not his day at all. Played well all round. Has done some defending as well. But he's employed and picked to score goals, Lance. He missed his chances today, Gervon Brown.
Yeah. Wealth of scoring options on the bench here for UWI. Oh, Foster darts into the box with the ball. Gets the ball to Cleon Price. Oh, the save initially from Amal Knight. Doesn't hold on to the ball well. Morris is unable to capitalize on the rebound.
What did we say about mistakes? Up to that point, the UWI hadn't made a mistake to gift Portmore an opportunity. They made a mistake just now. But at the death, Ricardo Morris couldn't profit from the gift. Look at Malik Foster turning Jamie Robinson inside out. Cleon Price's effort on goal. And I don't know how Amal Knight dropped that. Brilliant dribbling from Foster.
Yeah.
And Cleon Price going for the whip. And yeah, to be fair to Morris, he was stretching all the time for it. Couldn't direct it on target. Didn't expect the goalkeeper to drop it at his feet.
Look at the industry from the UWI players and how much they're chasing the ball, even chasing the defenders. Knight, solid in goal as usual for UWI.
Except for that moment just now.
Yeah.
Not only did he drop it, Lance, his elbow then knocked it straight into the path of Ricardo Morris, who wasn't expecting it. It came so quickly, couldn't do anything with it.
Price beats Daly for the header. Oh, great pass inside here to Binns. Can Binns hold it? He does. Oh, the ball is in! Malik Foster! And the ball goes right through the legs of Amal Knight. And Portmore are in front by 1-0. It's 2-2 on aggregate. And the five-time champions give them the lifeline and the motorball.
Yes, yes, and yes again. Portmore United fans exultant. Let me tell you what happened on that play. Portmore's most creative player, their most dangerous player, Ricardo Morris, opened up the UWI defense with a surgical pass down the left-hand channel. Binns did very, very well to put that ball in, and then Foster, what did Foster do? The ball coming to him at speed, defenders hearing down his neck. He flicked it. Look at Ricardo Morris's pass. Look at Binns' run, right into his path. Look at Foster ahead of Robinson, and it looked as if it was a deflection, Lance. It may have been an own goal, but that was down to brilliant attacking play. Binns' pass.
I think it was a kind of a back heel there from Malik Foster.
Well, even if it was, it took something off one of the defenders. I'm not taking anything away from the finish. It was a brilliant effort. Here it is again. Yes, it's a deflection of Jamie Robinson, no doubt. That angle confirms it.
Yeah, there was a deflection from the defender as well, but Foster's flicked back heel, heading for goal. And as we were assessing his impact on the game today, the 20-year-old delivers for Portmore.
So those missed chances by Gervon Brown have come to haunt the UWI. The pressure was building from the moment the second half started. Shavin Sean Paul hasn't had a save to make for Portmore. Amal Knight has been overworked, and finally the pressure told.
And UWI under strain now because it's 2-2 on aggregate.
Strap yourselves in, folks. Extra time is beckoning.
If the away goals rule was in effect, UWI would still be sitting pretty because their 2 goals at Jamalco would count to their benefit. But that's not the rule of the competition. It's straight aggregate. So it's 2-2 and they'll go into extra time and penalties if needed. Now the game is getting hot. Whistle from referee Morrison. Free kick to UWI taken from the incorrect spot.
What a brilliant play for the Portmore goal though. Ricardo Morris and Binns gave him the overlap. Everything about that play perfect for Portmore United. And Foster having the sense of mind to just go for the flick. And poor old Robinson. There we see Kevin Dare, a former Premier League winning striker for Portmore United, on the bench assisting Lance.
I think he actually played a few games last year as well.
Early in the season, yes, he did.
Very early in the season. Had 1 goal last year too. So the last 6.5 minutes of this game, normal time, plus time to be added on for stoppages. Can there be another twist here before this one is possibly forced into extra time? Grandison's attempted pass through cut off by Alonda Brown. Brown darts forward, but Grandison works hard. The team leader repairs the damage for Portmore. Binns gives the ball away. As George, we were assessing the impact of Malik Foster on the game today. We did say he had worked hard,
yes,
but without success. But credit to him. Binns to Binns. Price. Big, strong former Cavalier player. Price slides the ball through excellently here for Damien Binns. But McKenzie gets there first.
And that's the run that Binns was trying to replicate, but hadn't built up as much steam as he did when Morris laid the ball into his path and couldn't get there in the end. But that man beaten by an improvised flick from Malik Foster, which diverted through his legs off his defender, Jamie Robinson.
Brown trying to go through Dice there, unsuccessful. And there's the man of the moment now for Portmore. Poor pass there, aiming for Morris. Doesn't find him. 3.5 minutes of normal time remaining.
He was on the fringes of the game in the first half, not him, Malik Foster. He was in the action without much success, but Ricardo Morris on the fringes of the game in the first half. Yeah, that's him. And his very intelligent pass, perfect into the path of the substitute Damien Binns, who assisted Malik Foster's goal.
Foster had 5 goals last year when Portmore were regular season champions. Official word coming from the match officials that the goal has been officially recorded as an own goal.
Bad foul by Geronde Henry. Agricultural attempt at a tackle and leaves Kareem Manning feeling the pain. Yeah, I did think so from the run of play, Lance, especially when our last replay from behind the goal. It came off Robinson's backside because that's the touch that diverted it between Amal Knight's legs. But you're right, there was a flick on it from Foster, but the defender actually turned it goalwards.
Yeah. Well, there's no sign from Foster that he wasn't taking credit.
He did the best celebration.
Took his shirt off.
Yep.
And sprinted away, and how can you blame him? Closing moments of this game for normal time, but they're locked at 2-2 on aggregate, so that 1-0 scoreline that exists at the moment isn't a reflection of the overall tie. Binns. Oh, his cross is behind. Goal kick to UWI. So we're heading for extra time, unless one of these players on the teams decides to pop up with a headline maker.
Yeah, you know what was good about the UWI, or the Portmore goal, Lance, was that Dwayne Binns, when he took the pass from Ricardo Morris, there were 2 men offering him an option in the box. Cleon Price was nearest to him, and Foster somewhat towards the back post. He went for the right pass.
Lynch knocked over. What, Binns? The ball is back in the Portmore danger zone. And there goes Patrick Brown putting the pressure on. Damona Solomon has the pressure. Here is
UWI on the attack. Patrick Brown trying to squeeze through, but Binns is there to make the challenge. He has given up a corner though. So we're in the final minute of normal time. 1-0 to Portmore in this game. The aggregate in the two-way tie, 2-2. And we're heading for extra time.
Yeah, striker's instinct kicking in there. Wanted to come inside on his right foot so he could get a shot, as we see that Rastaman has been juggling from about 2 o'clock this afternoon, Lance. And the ball hasn't dropped once.
I don't believe you, George. Anyhow. Grandison's header out. The ball is with Foster. Foster doesn't get by Daly. Daly has it now on the left. Great pass inside to Garrison. Now Smith tumbles over as he approached Dice. And the counter-attack now for Portmore. Oh, 3 against 3. Foster. Price decides to hang back. Now Foster's cross comes in.
3 minutes added time for this second half.
3 minutes added on for stoppages. So there is time enough for something to happen. Lynch gets goalwards. Deflection, corner to Portmore. So UWI.
Lance, they're falling apart at the seams. Tanil McKenzie, look at this poor play. He's dozing. You should clear that first time from your box. Robbed by Jeremy Lynch. And then Geronde Henry comes up with the block and berates his colleague, as he should.
Well,
outside of your picture, Lance, Rashane Smith, the UE captain, is down. And referee Morris is calling for some attention for him. So the players get a breather. And I'm suggesting to you that the UWI need a breather more than Portmore.
Yes, they do. And their captain in distress, as their team would be mentally at this point, having enjoyed scoreline advantage in the aggregate for more than 3/4 of this match, only to see it disappear in the closing minutes.
Kemar Flemings is being prepared by the UWI coaching staff. He's going to come in at the next opportunity. Where's number 14?
Oh, that could be a knee problem there. Oh, Dice just runs through him.
Yeah, took a shot to the head. Maybe a knee to the head when he fell.
Yeah. Marcel Gale, what would he be thinking now? For so long in this tie, they led 2-1 on aggregate. And the expressions of a man disappointed at the turn of the last 10 minutes. So the substitute is made now. UWI now get Kemar Flemings in. Corner. Hit towards the far post. Oh, a bicycle kick attempted there by Solomon. Now Morris goes back to Binns on the right. Both players exchanging good passes. Lynch. Grandison. Grandison is under pressure. Solomon is under pressure. Does really well here. Grandison goes towards the box. Great challenge coming in from Patrick Brown, whose responsibilities on the field are primarily attacking. But he's come back in defense here to help out. Giving up a corner, but denying Grandison a free run at goal there.
Time is up, Lance. This could be the last act of regulation time.
And Malik Foster with a corner kick. A good one too. Oh, Solomon goes up and misses. The ball just a little above him. Oh, great football here by Morris, but he's unable to get control of the ball. He has kept Portmore in possession though. Price's cross. Grandison. Oh, Grandison trying to set himself up for a shot there. Whistle, that's the end of the game. Referee Kevin Morrison says 90 minutes are up. And it's a 1-0 scoreline favoring Portmore, which means that the deficit has been wiped off. And it's 2-2 on aggregate. They go into extra time to decide who will face Arnett Gardens in the final on the 5th of June. The UWI Bowl shown some excitement here in the last 15 minutes of this match when Portmore refused to be denied and hit back with a late goal that tied the aggregate at 2-2 between these two teams. Second semi-final of the Red Stripe Premier League. Portmore 1-0 over UWI on a defender's goal. The aggregate 2-2, which means they will go into extra time.
And this is where we're going to extra time. Ricardo Morris. Look at Damien Binns on the overlap to his left. Feeds him. Two men to aim for. Jeremy Lynch and Malik Foster. Foster's flick. Faint touch, but a decisive touch of Jamie Robinson, who was diving at Foster's feet. Diverts it between Amal Knight's legs. 1-0 in regulation time. Portmore 2-2. That's why we're going to extra time.
Yeah, and a huge disappointment there for Amal Knight and his defensive lineup, which stood up so courageously for most of the game, only to give it up in the last 10 minutes. And Portmore have drawn level on aggregate 2-2. We'll be back with the extra time call. UWI, Portmore, 5-time champions against second-year team UWI. They'll decide the finalists in the next half an hour. Back in a moment, guys. So the teams are getting their pep talks as they enter 15 minutes each way of extra time to decide the second semi-final. UWI against Portmore. Portmore winning the second leg by 1-0, forcing a 2-2 aggregate scoreline, which means that extra time will have to decide the finalists and who will go through to meet Arnett Gardens. Of course, if it's level out to extra time, they'll go penalties as well, so a winner has to be decided this evening. There's time enough. It's just approaching 5 o'clock local time here, and the sun is out in all its brilliance.
Yeah, also brilliance is attached to the Rastaman Lance, who's still juggling the ball. I told you, he's been juggling since 2 p.m. this afternoon. That's what? That's over 2 hours ago, and I haven't seen him drop the ball at all.
You wouldn't see it, George, because you're doing commentary on the game. You can't pay attention
No,
to
I've been seeing him out on the corner, man. You've been doing the play-by-play calling. I've been looking all over. I've been giving you substitutions and people in the crowds. And that's Warren Barrett? No, that's not Warren Barrett, a guy who looks like him. But Lance, it's good that for Portmore United, one of their creative players, their best creative player, pound for pound, Ricardo Morris, has been the man to influence this game in the most significant way, to give them a lifeline, well, more than a lifeline. It's now even, and no favorite from here. It's just who wants it more and who can produce the more quality at the right time.
Yeah, and it would be a sort of a consolation for him as well, because he missed a sitter at Jamalco in the first leg when they could have left that tie in a better position if he had been a little sharper in front of goal.
This is where coaches earn their money now, lads, because no longer is it about tactics, it's about motivation, it's about the game plan from here on in and the discipline to stick to that game plan, the knack of getting the players to reach into their reserves of energy, and where there aren't reserves of energy, to find energy nonetheless. That's what it's all about from here on in.
Yeah, and the fans are up for it. As you said, there are Arnett Gardens players here as well, looking on to study their potential opponents in the final. It's been a gripping game, really. The second half a little better than the first, because there was more urgency.
Come on, Lance, much better.
In the second half, yeah.
That's Lidge Sims, the former coach of Marbury Hughenden, Lance. Yeah. One of the relegated teams from the Premier League.
He had also spent some time at Arnett Gardens as well. And there are some of the Arnett Gardens players. Vishnal Harris, Marvin Morgan, looking on. And I wonder what's going through their minds at the moment and which team they would prefer to play in the final.
Yeah. But Portmore United, a team transformed. More urgency, more aggression, more purpose about their game in the second half. They won the second half and took the game in regulation time. But because of the first leg deficit, we have to play at least a half an hour more.
Yeah, and as the fans are looking on, cell phones
capturing the moment as well. And maybe a look at the Rastaman in the black who continues to juggle the ball, George.
I told you, Lance, but you don't believe me. Our producer backed me up, Phil Riley, who said I was right that the Rastaman has been juggling since 2 p.m. way over 2 hours ago. But you're not for turning, you're not for convincing, so I'll say no more.
So you're saying he isn't interested in the game because he can't have been watching any of the football if he is concentrating on keeping the ball alive.
Our floor producers have been feeding him information, Lance, because the Rastaman has been so spectacular.
Well, this is not easy to do, George.
You notice I never said I did it? That's because it's not easy to do. I've never done this.
Yeah, and it's also tiring. His quads are likely to be hurting at this point, or they should be,
yes,
for a normal person.
Yes.
I think Jeremy Lynch is ready. Portmore, they've played all their cards. Did UWI use all theirs as well?
No. They have. Yes, they took off for Shane Smith, Ramon Reed, and Gervin Brown. So both teams out of substitution.
So both teams will have to do the job with the players on the field. It's 2-2 on aggregate. Whoever scores more in this extra time period will go through to the final against Arnett Gardens. If no one scores, or if they share goals, they'll have to do penalties. Daly has not had the impact on this game that he had in the first leg.
Yeah, I wanted to make that point to you, Lance, and it's because of the UWI's approach. Conservative, without sitting too deep and attracting too much pressure. If they were asked to express themselves from the word go, he'd have been a major factor. He has to come out of that shell now, though.
Foul, whistle. Free kick to UWI. Top of their own half. Portmore would have been fresh out of a penalty shootout in the third place playoff. 2-2 with Central FC, Brent Sancho's team, and won that on penalties, I think. So their last penalty shootout effort was a successful one for them. There are two quality goalkeepers on show here, so the penalty kickers would have to be solid. Daly doesn't pierce. Foster doesn't beat the aggressive challenge from Jamie Robinson.
Well, you know what? Linval Dix's tactical master plan for the game worked out after all. Malik Foster is down though, Lance. It may be cramp, it may be worse. He's favouring the left knee. And for Portmore's sake, I hope it's not anything serious because they're out of substitutions. Hobbles back to his feet, Malik Foster.
Oh, he's
goes
gone
down
back
again.
Down, so it suggests that the pain is extreme, at least at the moment.
Yeah, I was saying to you that Linval Dix's master plan for the game was to put this man in the right wing role and allow Ricardo Morris to roam in that free attacking role to produce what was needed. Didn't come off in the first half, but certainly came off in the second half because both men were very much more prominent than they were over the first 45 minutes. And both had a hand in the equalizer. Well, in the decisive goal.
Doesn't look good, Foster. But I suspect he's a warrior, and he won't quit now. Portmore down to 10 men for the moment. Big clearance upfield by Jamie Robinson. Portmore regaining possession. Binns tumbles over from the challenge. Free kick to Portmore on the right.
Patrick Brown again getting in the tackle. As you've noted, he's been brought on the pitch to attack, but he's been helping out in defense.
Kimar Dada Daly also putting a punch in there as well. Michael Binns with a free kick for Portmore. Lynch, Morris, and Price on the front end waiting. Binns' kick is not good.
Strong turnout, Lance.
Yeah. Brown for UWI. Dwight Smith wants the ball and gets it. puts the pressure on and wins the throw. Mackenzie out-muscles Price for the ball. Kamar Flemings. I wonder why he did that. Passing options in the middle if he had turned. I think he made his mind up that he was going back outside on the right from the ball approached him.
Note, Lance, that Greenland, injury. Cleon Price pulls up. Well, it's to be an impact injury. Thought for a moment it was a muscle injury, but his left leg not doing so well. He's holding his head as well.
Yeah, the way he went down would have been very worrying.
I thought it was a muscle injury, you know, but when we get the replay, we'll see him grab the thigh first. And now he's holding the ankle. So he runs. Collision comes there. And he, whatever it is, he's in pain.
Yeah, he's in pain. I think when he came down on the leg, it could have been a jarring feeling on the leg there, but apart from that, there was the collision as well with Mackenzie, who is a pretty strong, robust guy himself. There's Ludlow Bernard, coach of Harbourview and Kingston College. Harbourview finishing 9th in the Premier League table. At one point was in a bit of a battle to escape relegation.
The unthinkable. Harbourview being relegated. That's Miguel Coley with the national program for a long while, and of course the mastermind at Jamaica College, the schoolboy football kings in Jamaica. You notice I didn't say Manning Cup Kings, because they rule both the corporate area and rural area competition.
Well, Cleon Price is on a stretcher on the sidelines and lying on the stretcher, so not a good sign for Portmore. Foster, who had gone off, is now back on, and at the moment appears to be running free of discomfort. So on that end, things may not be too bad for Portmore with Foster.
I tell you what though, Price is not doing well, Lance. The left leg, as you said, and may up on landing, as you noted, may have jarred something. So they're short-handed now. And even if Price comes back, I don't know how fit he'll be. He's just rising to his feet now. And he's going to come back on.
Portmore getting ready to make the throw now. Lynch trying to squeeze himself away from UWI challenges. Daly, good aerial pass there. Kamar Flemings, who tries to flick the ball forward. Doesn't find a target in one of his teammates.
Curious how Anthony Greenland didn't get a game for the UWI this evening. One of their best performers over the course of the campaign. But in the last few games, hasn't been a prominent presence.
Lynch chasing with determination, but Mackenzie ensures he doesn't get it. There's Lynch. Goal kick to Amal Knight and UWI. We're in the first half of extra time, and the game is locked. The tie, the two-way tie is locked, 2-1 aggregate. And here is UWI in possession and trying to go forward. Free kick, UWI putting the pressure on. Mackenzie with a free kick here for UWI. Oh, short and straight. Patrick Brown tumbles over from the challenge from Binns. Free kick to UWI. Pretty quiet first period of extra time this has been.
Both teams taking a breather, Lance, it would seem.
Daly takes it quickly. Brown keeps the ball in. Still Brown. This pass caught up by Jeremy Lynch. Throw quickly here for Daly. Daly, late challenge from Lynch. Free kick again here to Portmore, who are looking a little bit lazy in defense now.
Lance, Cleon Price is right below me, almost, well, about 20 yards away. He's not looking good. He's struggling with that knock. But he has to soldier on because all Portmore's changes have been made.
Patrick Brown with the effort from distance. Scored the go-ahead goal in the first leg to give UWI the 2-1 victory. Coming on as a super sub, plays that role again today. There's Daly. Man of the match in the first leg. Pulling the strings in midfield then. Not that big an impact today, as UWI lost the 90-minute battle by 1-0, which tied the two-leg matchup at 2-2. The reason for extra time now. Morris. Oh, foul on Morris. Mackenzie challenging for the ball. He looks at the referee a little inquiringly.
It was a foul, a slap to the face. Oh, shoulder to the face. So Morris upset that Mackenzie wouldn't move his shoulder out the way as he turned inside. This is a dangerous one, though, that the skipper is presiding over, Lance. Big kicking you on Grandison.
Does pack a bit of power in his right boot, Grandison. He has several white shirts to aim at in the 6-yard box. Cluster of players right in front of the goal. Grandison's kick is overhit. Oh, real disappointing there from the skipper.
So what, we've played 100 minutes, we haven't seen one good free kick all game. It's been poor all round. But the break between the end of regulation time, Lance, and the start of extra time would have also killed the momentum, would have slowed the adrenaline rush. Oh, dangerous.
Foster has gone away down the right side, but pressure being put on him by Kimar Flemings, who isn't about to be embarrassed by that cheeky little flick up there by Foster. The verbal battle is now on as well.
Flemings almost took umbrage at the skill that Foster was trying to execute. Look at this, trying to give him the, we call in these parts a pile, they call in South America the sombrero. Wasn't having it. And Foster felt that he was roughed up by the defender on the follow-through.
No defender worth his salt would allow a forward to just get by him like that. So I have to understand Fleming's position. Kenza gets the ball away. Ball still in play, and Garrison is putting pressure on. Solomon makes a frantic clearance out, and now Binns has acres of room to work with in defense for Portmore. Lynch tries to get away there from Henry. UWI looking smart in defense and midfield and averting the danger. Daly under pressure from Binns. Oh, Daly does well here to get through a cluster of Portmore players and wins a foul as well. Wins a free kick from a foul.
Excellent use of the body. Experience they're telling. We have an argument beneath us, Lance. Linval Dixon, the Portmore coach, in a running verbal with the fourth official.
Shavon Sean Paul, high for the take.
You know what? Since the 45th minute mark, the 45-minute mark, Shavon Sean Paul has had nothing to do because of Portmore's quality, because of their improved play.
Excellent pass forward here. And UWI are on the attack. Robinson turns well. Robinson still. Oh, delightful reverse pass to Patrick Brown. Brown keeps possession of the ball with some skill. Oh, good football here. This from UWI. The cross not getting through as there was the recovery work there by Portmore.
It broke down because Garrison Lance, I believe, earlier in that play should have passed to Dwayne Smith, who was free to his right. Brown driving into the box, but Grandison with the bigger body eases the slender frame of Brown out of the way. You can hear Linval Dixon's voice from here, barking at his players. And barking at the fourth official too, feeling that calls aren't going in favor of his team.
Solomon reads that play well. Has been strong in defense for Portmore today, Damana Solomon. Amal Knight, vice captain of the UWI team, trying to lift his team here in the dying moments of extra time. The first half of extra time about to close. 2-2 on aggregate the score is. Portmore winning the 90-minute battle 1-0. This is the second leg of this two-way tie. And referee Morrison has seen enough of the first half of extra time. 15 minutes to play in extra time. And just one goal needed to decide it.
Yeah, low energy first half of extra time, Lance. Almost collectively the players like a diabetic needing a sugar high to get their blood pressure, their blood sugar level back up. Very low energy, and referee Morris coming across to have a word with Linval Dixon there, telling the Portmore United coach to calm down after his row with the fourth official. But it's all about guts from here. An uphill task for both teams. Literally an uphill task, running uphill with weights on their back. It's about endurance. Who will make a mistake in the second half of extra time? And that is why teams play conservatively in the second half of extra time. Because when you're fatigued, you're more likely to make an error. And that's why they play ultra conservatively to eliminate errors. It could be another sterile 15 minutes ahead of us, Lance.
Yeah, well, shot there at Cleon Price with some medical attention being given to him. I wonder if there is any hope of getting him into the game still. There's seemed that in that shot to be a lot of attention being paid to him. But at the moment they're still with 10 men because Price was down with an injury here early in the first half of extra time.
Yeah, they heavily strapped that left ankle, which is causing him problems.
Wow.
And I'm suggesting that if Portmore had a change, he'd have been taken off.
Oh, for sure. It's a situation where they probably consider it better to have him with limited mobility, but at least occupying a space on the field.
And occupying defenders.
You'd have probably had to take one of those painkillers that have immediate effect. Morris beats players really easily, Morris, but his first touch on the ball there a little bit too heavy just then. Garrison. Solomon with a clearance out. Foster tumbles over. Oh, Grandison comes in and wins the ball. Trying to find Morris.
Poor pass. When he had Foster in space to his right, the skipper.
Grandison fights hard for the ball but loses it. Daly. Patrick Brown. Dwayne Smith. Dwayne Smith with a cross inside, and Manning is the one that slides the ball out left-footed. Kamar Fleming's now with the ball. Fleming still with it. Doesn't have enough comfort to get a proper shot off. He eventually tried. Oh, this is a screaming effort from distance from Dino Schaff. Schaff and Sean Paul make the tumbling save.
Yeah, driven by the central defender. The goalkeeper saw it coming from a long way off and got his feet moving, and it took some of the impact off the fall by allowing the ball to hit the ground first. as they're taught to do, goalkeepers.
Mackenzie's clearance outfield finds DeWine Smith. Smith looking for passing options. Goes back to Mackenzie, then Flemings. Garrison breaks free into the box. Garrison for UWI. Shavon Sean Paul on the near post.
The second time he's been in that position in the game. Once in regulation time, couldn't knock the cross back far enough away from the goalkeeper. Admittedly on his weaker left foot, Garrison.
Great work there by him, though.
Yes, still running hard, Lance.
This
in the 108th minute.
That's right. Player with an abundance of energy. Henry unable to keep that one in.
Here Linval Dixon beneath us, Lance, telling his players a little more effort, cajoling them, squeezing every last drop of energy from the men in blue and white.
Portmore United shirts, PMU on their back. Takes us back to the early 90s when Port Morant United would have been another PMU who were pretty strong. Advertised the likes of the exciting Trinidadians, Leonce Lewis and Russell Latapy in 1991 season in the Red Stripe Premier League. Challenge for the title, but I think Reno were champions that year.
Yes, they were. Lance, Cleon Price is so injured, he can't even control the ball, as you saw just now. Tried to jog after miscontrolling. The poor soul couldn't even do that. So he's there on the pitch in body, Cleon Price, but he's not much used to the Portmore United team.
Look at Garrison fighting to the bitter end there, going for the ball. Paul in goal for Portmore. Right there for the take. Now it's Manning with the ball. Limping, Cleon Francis. Price getting the ball forward there for Binns. Just then Binns' cross inside, a bit wayward. A lot of the errors that we're going to see here in extra time, 10 minutes now remaining, will be the result, George, of just fatigue.
Yeah, fatigue errors. Noted that earlier. That's why teams are more conservative at this stage of a game than at any other time. Expansive approach leads to mistakes, or the probability of mistakes. You want to keep that probability low, so you are circumspect in your approach. That's a foul.
Studs coming in from Patrick Brown.
Well, if I were a betting man, Lance, I wouldn't take any more bets on us seeing our first penalty shootout in the RSPL, because it looks that way to me, as if both teams have cried Cree.
Foster. Binns. Foster again. Great move here for Portmore. Foster still. Clearance eventually from Dino Schaff.
Strong.
Yeah, but Portmore got perilously close to the UWI goal on that play. Foster, a very, very tricky player. Has good close dribbling skills, close ball skills. Lynch unable to get through a wall of UWI players. Daly under pressure. Smith. Brown. Brown's pass easily cut off by Dyson. I think that was over there on the right.
We must be fair, Lance. Both teams of central defenders, the two for the UE and the two for Portmore, have played well in this game.
Yeah. Smith now has the ball here for UWI.
Oh, he's not satisfied with his passing option, so he hasn't yet released the ball. Now he does, after being fouled by Binns.
Good tackling by Binns, though. Seeing that he wasn't sure what he wanted to do, wasn't going to give him more time to survey the atmosphere.
Yeah. Well, the Portmore players were tracking well there, so it reduced his passing options. And it took him an awful long time to decide what he wanted to do. So Binns decided that he would put the pressure on.
Well, Lance, below me, I see the UWI assistant coach on Andrew Peart, looking as if he's tearing a sheet of paper, Lance. No doubt he's going to be writing penalty takers soon. Has his pen and he's writing on a piece of paper, so looks as if UWI already preparing for spot kicks.
Wow. And what a way to decide this. There's Peart. There's Peart making the notes. Brown unable to control first time. Garrison. Smith. Smith's pass doesn't have enough weight on it. So Morris snatches the ball. Grandison. Orlando Brown chases for all he's worth. Grandison decides to keep possession of the ball. Oh, Grandison does really well here. Tripped by Brown. Free kick.
Brilliant,
to Portmore.
Brilliant work from the Portmore captain. That play started in his own half with a sprint. Ran to the byline, kept the ball in play. Accelerated again, tracked by the young Orlando Brown. The Winesmith came over to help. Then look at the skill. Gets away from the defender, hauled down. Had to foul there, the UWI man had to.
I can tell you that run took a lot out of Ewan Grandison. He's now winded. Orlando Brown chased him for all he was worth there. Knew the Portmore captain was getting the better of him, so he pulled him down. Just over 5 minutes of extra time remaining. Amal Knight, vice captain of the UWI team, not happy with the two-man wall. He wants them a little further to their left. Oh, they look undecided, this two-man wall.
They're trying to organize, but the one man they should be listening to is the goalkeeper. Whatever he says, do.
But Jeremy Lynch is standing right in front of the goalkeeper, almost as if he's trying to block the communication. Oh, the UWI looking untidy at the moment. Let's see what will happen here. Binns and Grandison standing behind the ball. Binns with the effort. Oh, what a brilliant goal! Damien Binns, Michael Binns. Michael Binns looks have won it here in the final minutes of this game. What a strike from the former Glenmuir man.
Wow, that was blockbuster. Pick that out, Amal Knight. That was something special from the only man on the park capable of delivering that at this stage of the contest. Michael Binns asked for some water. He's on fire.
Well, he scored the goal of the season last year. Michael Binns in the final. I thought that UWI looked very sloppy trying to defend this one. The three-man wall stood there. He curled it around them. And Amal Knight, trying as he might, wasn't able to get to that one.
Took 2 steps the wrong way to start with, based on the curl of the ball when it left Binns' foot. And by the time he realized it was going to his left, couldn't correct himself in time to get a glove to it.
Well, as we said, he scored the goal of the season last year in the final against Mobay United. Now Portmore leading here by 2-0. 3-2 on aggregate.
But again, Lance, Gervon Brown's misses in the first half especially, coming back to haunt this UWI team. Got chances to score, they didn't take them. Portmore have taken 2 of their chances.
UWI now stepping up and looking to get back in the game. But is this curtains for the UWI boys? A lot of credit. Oh, a collision there with Morris. I think that could be Kemar Fleming, is it?
Looks that way. No, that's not Fleming. Fleming is up. Here the U misses. This is the first half. Gervin Brown sprints through after miscontrol from Ewan Grandison, and then he does that with the finish. Big miss for the college men. And then this opportunity, Shaft stealing in at the back post. And then look at this, Garrison unlucky, took a deflection of Roberto Johnson, coming off the crossbar. So a case of nearly there for UWI. Then this opportunity again, ball should have been crossed to the back post instead. The Winesmith went for the shot, kept out by Shavin Sean Paul. The UWI missing their chances. Portmore United taking one of theirs from regular play and the other one from a set piece. And the crowd lands, members of the crowd, persons in the crowd, filing away. They think their team is beaten.
Andrew Peart, assistant coach for UWI, looking really concerned now at the turn of events. They started this game with a 2-1 advantage, needing only to avoid defeat to get a spot in the final, but they haven't been able to hold it. And we are a minute and a half away from the end of extra time. And right now, Portmore are in pole position for a spot in the final for the second year in a row.
What a performance.
And what an effort by Grandison, this man, the captain of the Portmore team, whose industry and determination on that play set up that free kick for Michael Binns.
Fantastic. What a performance from that man. He has been a colossus in this game for Portmore United, epitomized by that run, which resulted in the free kick.
Does he get the MVP honor then?
I wouldn't have a problem.
Or would Binns' fine finish, which is set to decide this match, give him the advantage? Hasn't really played that well, Binns, today.
I'd go for Grandison, because although Binns added the quality, the finesse, the class, it was Binns' industry which created the opportunity.
Malik Foster's work has also been a hallmark of this Portmore effort today.
Yeah. But the point being that even when Cleon Price getting into a bit of a problem here with the wines, with Teddy McKenzie, needs to be careful. Don't want to throw it away now. The point being, Lance, in the first half, when not many of the Portmore players played well, none of their attackers shone, Grandison was solid in his role, continued to play well throughout. Foster, Binns, and company came to life as the game got older. Grandison solid from the start.
Yeah. And the man with a bad ankle, Cleon Price, at this moment looking to forget all the pain and discomfort and pouring his heart into the Portmore effort.
Portmore moments away from their second final in 2 years, Lance. That's a commendable up. Well, here it is.
Oh, the final whistle from Kevin Morrison. And Portmore dramatically stealing this game from the UWI, snatching a late goal in the 90-minute frame, and then sending it to extra time. And the tremendous winner from Michael Binns, a Portmore standout, played last year in the USL Pro League for the Wilmington Hammerheads, back home in the domestic league, and he has struck a fine free kick here to win it for Portmore. 3-2 on aggregate, and UWI, distressingly for them, denied a spot in the final against Arnett Gardens on the 5th of June.
Well, you know what? The UWI came into this game, controlled the game for large parts of it, just didn't take their chances. Football is a cruel game. You play well, you don't take your chances, you end up losing. The UWI lose, Portmore advance, 3-2 on aggregate, 2-0 on the day. We take a break, we come back with more from the Uwimona Bowl.
Say one bag of gold medal pan me no. Red stripe alone champion boy go. Pan up pour them a singing anthem to. Red stripe, watch out, watch out, watch out. Man shall I make a forward boy. Red stripe Premier League champion boy score. Every goal winner run from boy. Red stripe Premier League champion boy now.
The Red Stripe Premier League for champions only.
Back with us at the UWI Mona Bowl. Portmore win 2-0 on the day for a 3-2 aggregate win. These are the goals that have seen them through to a final against Arnett Gardens. This is Ricardo Morris. Damian Binns on the overlap, plays it to him. Binns fires in a low effort. Malik Foster with the minimal of touches. Poor old Jamie Robinson diverting it between his goalkeeper's legs, Amal Knight. 1-0 to Portmore United. That goal sent us to extra time. Clearly see from that reverse angle the ball coming off Jamie Robinson. And then Ewan Grandison, after a barnstorming run, late in the contest when most players had no energy left, opened his lungs, sprinted, fought. Michael Binns, free kick opportunity, wonderful effort over Amal Knight's head. And Binnsy aborts the short off celebration. Took a bag of water instead. Fantastic free kick, deceiving a goalkeeper of Amal Knight's quality. And Binns beats his chest and says, I am the man. And how can you deny him? Well, 52% of the possession was controlled by Portmore United, who stepped up the pace after the first half. 13 attempts on goal by Portmore, 5 on target, 3 on target by UWI. And they missed their chances, the college men, and will have to wheel and come again. I send you down now to Lance Whitaker. Well, I send you first to Danique, who's with the man of the match, Ewan Grandison.
Thank you, G. Listen, so well deserved. I remember last year when Portmore United made it to the finals and I was rooting so hard for them, and this year they're getting the chance again to hit for the championship, and I'm so excited about this. Ewan Grandison, listen, what an amazing feat today. How are you feeling?
Well, I feel victorious, come out to the win for my team.
I'm not going to take too long because I know you want to celebrate and everything. What can we look forward to in the finals?
Well, all the best. The finals, no ending, so just got to the final, we got to win.
All right, well, definitely straight luck to you, Ewan. Of course, here's your trophy on behalf of the entire Sportsmax team. Congratulations for being our MVP for today. It is well deserved. But we're not done. We have Assistant Brand Manager Rashima Kelly from Red Stripe here to give you your 1-liter bottle of Red Stripe and a gift certificate. Please don't drink it off one time. Thank you so much. 18 years and older, drink responsibly. That was Ewan Grandison, well-deserved MVP for today's match. Let's now go over to Lance, who is with the coaches.
Thank you very much, Denique. We have Marcel Gale here, coach of the UWI. Like a horse race in a derby, they were leading up to the furlong pole and then chucked the gallop up and weren't able to hold it. What went wrong for you in the closing minutes first of the 90 minute and then into extra time?
You know, it's a long season, and I think fatigue, you know, concentration there. But I mean, credit to my guys. I think they have an excellent season this season. I mean, we have quite a young team, still on the brinks of making it to the final probably next year. But I mean, it's a good run leading up to this. I mean, it take 2 brilliant goals, cost us game today. So I have no qualms about that.
Yeah. Anything that you would have done differently if you had to do this over again today? Because for a long way today, you looked as if you were in pole position to get to the final.
You know, one could say make several excuses, but Lance, honestly, I won't make none. You know, I'd just take it like a man, take my legs and come again. I mean, we could have complained about rest, I could have talked about other things, but we know before the competition starts, we have to prepare for it. As I say, Lance, I mean, it's a brilliant free kick beat me. I mean, I can't coach against that. I could just take that and learn from that and come again.
Yeah, quickly just before you go, so you just barely missed the playoffs in your first season of Premier League football, second in the regular season this year. That's how you'll sum up the season then, and not harp too much on what went wrong, but what went well for you.
Most definitely, because early we set out to get 50 at points. We get the 50 at points. Unfortunately, we win $1 million. So we were pushing it to see if we can get to the final. I think we fight gallantly. Just unfortunate today, just not over there.
Thank you very much. Okay, that's Marcel Gale, coach of UWI. We're about now to talk to Linval Dixon, coach of Portmore United, a former national central defender as well, and a Clarendon College standout in his schoolboy days. Oh, this one went right down to the wire. There were moments today, Linval. Well, I'm pretty certain that you weren't sure it was going to happen.
Oh, well, definitely so, you know, because when the game, you know, going, and I would not get in the goal, you know, get some chances. But we should at least score one, you know, but as the games go by, you know, then we have to make some changes, you know, and really the changes help and the payoff today.
Yeah. Things went really bad for you in the extra time as well when Cleon Price went down with an injury and he was off the field for more than 10 minutes, I think. You patched him up and brought him back on, but at that point, things looked pretty dismal for Portmore, didn't it?
Still so, you know, because when I think that, you know, we're playing to go to the penalty shootout, you know, but it never be, you know, as I said, some of the players that were really tired, were injury all over, you know, 'cause after that long tour in Trinidad and Tobago, coming back here, really, you know, it's just to motivate them, and really, their heart really into it today, and they dig deep, and they get the victory.
We've seen Michael Binns score some spectacular goals in the past, but this one must hold a special place in your heart.
Very much so, because I was expecting the captain to do the honor, you know, and see Michael Binns step up, you know, a player who always, you know, want to be in the limelight. And today, oh my God, man, really a fantastic goal, man.
All right, a dream final, your second successive final. Portmore lost in the final last year to Mobay United. How do you rate that Arnett Garns matchup? Because that's going to be a humdinger we make it.
Well, always a tough cracker. A cracker against an Arnett Garden team. A team that's very tough, a very physical team. You know, but we're going to get ourselves ready, even though we have some injury, you know, but hopefully, you know, we can ready the players, you know, to go to the final.
Thank you very much, Linval Dixon, and best of luck.
Thank you very much, boss.
Linval Dixon, head coach of Portmore United, who squeezed into the final today. 2-0 extra time win over UWI, which sent them through to the final. 3-2 on aggregate, and what a dramatic finish we've had to this match. For long periods in this game, UWI appeared to have been doing enough to hold on to their advantage and get through to the final, but Portmore had something up their sleeves.
Yeah, the greatest truism in football, the self-proving statement, is that if you don't score goals, you won't win matches. The UWI got their chances, they didn't take them, Portmore got them. You used the racing analogy to describe how the game panned out, and you are correct with racing as the point of comparison, because as this game got on, the UWI looked like the team that was begging for the finish line to move from where it has been planted to come closer to them, while Portmore was the one galloping strongly towards the finish line where it was. And in the end, greater desire, greater stores of energy. Ewan Grant is a fantastic effort, but after an effort like that, raw force, brute force, you need some quality. Step forward, Michael Binns, with the best moment of the match.
Yeah, Denny, like you were on pitch side. There were some moments there when the Portmore coach got a little irritable and so on. Things got pretty hot down there.
The thing is, what's so amazing is how Michael Binns did it again, because last year it was his strike that brought them to the finals last season. So it was so amazing to see him actually come through again and to see the underdogs coming back up. I do believe that as much as I wanted UWI to get their first time in the finals, I do believe that Portmore played a good enough match, and this win was well deserved.
Yeah, but George, you heard Linval Dixon, the coach of Portmore United. He told me just now that he thought Ewan Grandison would have taken that free kick and not Michael Binns.
Well, the angle wasn't for a right, but the angle was for a right footer.
Yes.
That's why he would have thought so.
Okay.
But Binns' quality is such that his main aim was to get it over the wall, because he figured the trajectory would also take it over the goalkeeper. And if you noticed, Amal Knight took 2 steps to his right, thinking the ball was going to go there. By the time he corrected himself, it was too late. That's just brilliance.
Yeah. So what do we make of this final then? Portmore United against Arnett Garns, two teams that are very accustomed to winning titles. Portmore, 5-time champions. Arnett have been champions 4 times before. This is a real cracking final it's going to be.
It is. I mean, last season I really wanted Portmore to win, and I'm going to stand strong with Portmore United this year. I'm really going to say a couple of prayers for them, because I do believe that they deserve this championship.
Well, guess what? It's going to be in the final. A team which finished 6th in the regular season, that has a 50% chance of winning the league. Those who believe that this format is unworthy of the competition will have more to grind with their axes, given that Arnett finished the regular season in the last playoff place. But they are champions. Portmore United are champions. It's going to be a humdinger.
Yeah, and I think Portmore actually 4th. So
yes,
in the regular season, Portmore 4th, Arnett 6th, and it's those 2 teams that have risen to the top of the standings.
Alrighty. All right, guys, that is it.
Arnett Garns against Portmore United. That's live on the 5th of June, 8:30 Eastern Caribbean time. You can't afford to miss it. It's going to be the climax of the Red Stripe Premier League season for 2016-2017. Will Portmore win a 6th title, or will Arnett Garns make it number 5? It's going to be a humdinger. You can't afford to miss it. Thanks for joining us here at the Mona Bowl.
me say one bag of gold medal pan me no. Red stripe alone champion boy go. Banner pour them a singing anthem. Red stripe, watcha. Band shell me the forward boy. Red stripe Premier League champion boy score. Every goal when I run from boy. Red stripe Premier League champion boy now. Pop down we run the marathon boy. The bush never made it that the champion boy fan. Nah man I don't a songsters boy. Red stripe Premier League champion boy. Yeah yo.